councilman there now, so we don't have to.
How we doing?
No, he was very upset. Yeah.
That happens.
I'll show you some.
I was at work one day. I know at first.
Okay, so just for you.
This room. It's in my stack. Okay.
One's for Margaret.
I didn't know where it was on his basement. I had no idea.
You find a couple cold ones, bring them up.
Yes.
Want me to do
There's
them?
two actually, runs.
Just open them, contract tonight, so we'll have to
Name and amount.
an amount, right?
That's it.
It'll be taken care of, yes, we already know about it.
5.
And basically, they're all pre-qualified
There's two. This is
contractors.
the general.
Whoever's low.
This is the
gets
MVH,
the project well.
general
Are you gonna
and parks. This was emailed to Reedy, so he does know about it. This one is the newly created line item that Reedy and whatever the attorney's name is, they wanted. We're very well aware.
Mary Street. You want to? I don't know if we want to leave that open.
Tony?
Friday and Monday.
I don't want to leave anything because we keep getting things disappearing.
So you want to push it?
Hold it today. Or Tuesday.
Okay.
Sorry.
That makes more sense. Right. And then I'll go ahead and
Things seem to
contact
disappear.
both parties, let them know that
That's it.
Tuesday is going to be shut down.
Thank you.
I'm not going to say this is how I'm going to read them.
Okay.
I don't know who this is from.
Sir? If I say chief, you think I'm stuck?
It's going to be all gold.
I'm going to say that's from Angels Excavation.
Okay. Well, that's the missing. I don't have to read any of this stuff, right? I just open, read.
Just tell them it's for the restoration project. And
Which
you
was
can
in the
refer
packet?
that, you can refer that to me and I'll have it.
Because you're awarding, right?
Yes.
Well,
I was always smarter than that.
Don't matter. You're fired. Such a liar.
Does that? And then they do that.
I nobody did that for me.
Somebody said,
So what's wrong with it?
That's Carl's. We eliminated it. That's all we're gonna
Dennis only needs a contract, so we put it on today. Has Mel and everybody seen these contracts? I mentioned that one.
God damn it.
I mentioned that. Did you get that change order one in your package? Thank you, Jackie.
What did you just say? Aflac. Aflac.
My insurance.
I don't need it there.
What? In the packets?
Yeah.
I did land consultants.
you can have this chair if you want.
Alright. Just want to be on record now.
Yeah. But when I've got this sinus stuff.
We live with stuff next door.
Yeah. The sinus stuff. And I can't hear a thing. My ears are
Oh,
clogged,
that's okay.
which is a good thing at home, you know. And Carol yells at me.
Hey, you sound terrible. You okay?
Board of Works and Council.
Board of Works, yeah.
Test, all that stuff in there.
You're gonna bring up later on the pool, the new rates and stuff too.
Yeah, that was in your packet. You don't have it?
Yeah.
That's for, council, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, because we don't have parks meeting. Yeah.
Call this Board of Works meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Board Member Donnie Bryant.
Present.
Board Member Bill Brenner's absent. City Attorney Joe Votaw.
Here.
Police Chief Gene Hunnefeld.
Here.
Fire Chief Johnny Tremaine.
Here.
Utility Director Mel Davis. Here. Mayor Cunningham. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I've been saying that. Mayor Carr, I should know that. And myself.
Thank you. Any announcements? Hearing none. Approved minutes of previous meeting.
So move.
Second. Favor?
Aye.
Committee reports. Fire Department, Chief Johnny Tremaine.
Mayor, the only thing I have tonight, I just wanted to give you an update that the officers are getting close to completing the specifications on the fire apparatus, so that ought to be coming down the pipe sometime. That's all I got.
Police Chief Gene Hunnefeld.
Thanks, Mayor. I just wanted to let the board know that last week, the community center, to celebrate National Police Week, had a little celebration and dinner, and that was a pretty nice thing for all the local law enforcement and the other emergency services to get a thank you from the community center board. We appreciated that. Also, since last week was National Police Week, we did send Motorcycle Sergeant Ken Lusekamp to Washington, D.C. He represented the police department and the city of Lawrenceburg. What they do is motorcycles from all over the country, police departments, they escort the families of the fallen officers to the National Police Memorial. It's just a sign of respect, and it's just our way of paying back to the families of the fallen officers. Lastly, Mayor, I'd like to let the board know that the application deadline for the police clerk's position ended Friday, the 18th. There was a flood of applications. There's approximately 132 applications for that afternoon police clerk's job, and I invite the board to call me or stop in if they have any input or suggestions on how we start sifting through 132 applications. Nothing further.
Thank you. EMS Department, Bobby Mills.
Yes, Mayor, the run totals for the month of April was 128 calls. And also in your packet, you should have a letter from Sheriff's Department on the purchase of 432. They didn't put the price in there, but they are requesting to purchase that for $1.
What's the board's approval on it, Donnie?
We're gonna take that from the council, or we're gonna handle it? I'd say let them have it.
That's up to you guys. I mean, he put purchase price in there, but he didn't put anything. Then when I talked to him on the phone, he said $1 or give it, whatever you guys want to do.
Get it out of our hands and off our insurance. It's no longer in use.
We'll put a motion down.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
$1.
$1. Okay.
And that's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you, Doc.
Thanks.
New business. Tim Jensen, letter of recommendation.
Thank you, Mayor. In your packets, you should have 3 letters from Messer Construction, which have been signed by Grant Hughes, Redevelopment Director, and Mayor's Assistant there, regarding the 3 different packages that were awarded or approved by Redevelopment Commission at the last meeting last Monday night. I think you've heard them or seen them before. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer those now.
Question, board?
I don't have no question.
Lisa Bruning, Todd Creech, Playground Restoration, quotes open board.
I should have brought a letter. Okay, Kent Asphalt and Paving. Total $6,790. Paul H. Rowe Company. Total $5,900. Howard Excavating, $6,999. I should have got the letter. Garing Group, $8,450.
Excuse me.
Bless you. Okay. Dave O'Mara, $17,850.
Hold that one more time, please.
$17,850. Angels Excavating, $5,853.67. Yes, that's the Todd Creech Park Playground Restoration, and if the board has any questions, Mike Clark will be happy to answer.
Angel Construction's the lowest bid.
Yeah, all the bidders are pre-qualified under our safety program. They all received the same spec packet, and I met with each contractor on site and went over the project. So my recommendation would be to go with the low bid on this.
Your motion?
I'll make a motion, but I'd like Mikey to look at all these now that they're open and see if they left out anything.
On this one, Donnie, it's a lump
That's
sum
clear?
bid. Yeah, this is
Okay.
a small project, and they all got the same information. They have to perform, giving us a lump sum price.
Make a motion, I second. All in favor?
Yeah.
Ayes have it. Angel Construction's got the bid.
Let me see.
Mario Todd, ordinance change.
Thank you, Your Honor. It's not ordinance, it's actually a request for a change order for the work being performed at Jackie's, the clerk treasurer's office. To improve the site drainage, since we have the construction going on, now's the time to kind of redesign the drainage over there. Pretty self-explanatory in your bid pack.
Yeah, it turned out nice over the fairgrounds too. Right, real
Yeah.
nice. Anything on the board?
I have nothing, Your Honor.
Is there a motion?
Make the motion.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's all I had, Your Honor.
Mr. Votal, contracts.
Yeah, it's in your package. You had 4 contracts for employees and/or, well, actually, it's not an independent contractor now. These are in to substitute for the 4-year contracts that were passed last year. There is one exception, and it was brought to my attention that we made an error in Mr. Todd's contract. is for the board's information. 7B should be eliminated, does not pertain to Mr. Todd's services. It pertains to Mr. Fryman's services.
I talked to Mario and he understood.
So with that, I would ask the board to pass the contracts as they are before you, and then the individuals will then take a look at releases that I prepared, and with signatures, we can continue on with the contracts.
Any questions, board?
No, all the parties are happy, I guess.
Yes, as far as I know they are. Entertain a motion?
Also move.
I second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Any old business? Hearing none. Review and discuss claims of board's approval.
I have actually a correction to those claims. This is from Reedy Financial. It's batch 1. Do you guys have that? Donnie?
And what's it from?
It would be batch 1.
Oh, okay.
I don't think I have.
Main Street corner.
This will be brought up at council as well.
Let's hear it.
I think we just have batch 2. I think they just have batch 2, right?
You just have batch 2.
I think that's what they have. I don't think they've.
I'll make a copy of this for you, Donnie, but I want it stated for the record that these following corrections were made from what Reedy Financial Company had given us. So I'm just going to kind of say them out loud if that's okay, and then once I get copies for you, then you'll be able to better see, but at least it'll be on record.
Okay.
First one is for Tri-State Liquid Waste. I'm sorry, the first one's for Tri-State Parking, invoice 177 and 176. That's not part of the bill. The city does not owe. First one's $956.50. Second one is $68.50. Second correction is a utility bill. The account number is 12-209-1. It's listed as $60.31. It's actually $60.61. I'm assuming that's a typo. Also under utilities, there is a missing amount. The account number is 122171, and the amount of $151.98. All the rest of these are also missing utility bills. I'll read the account number and then the amounts. 121621 in the amount of $291.60. 12611 in the amount of $383.33. Account 125702 in the amount of $1122. Account 66901 in the amount of $1,597.34. Account 122311, amount $158.82. Account 112552 in the amount of $991. Account 122241 in the amount of $42.10. Account 125852 in the amount of $60.24. Account 122181 in the amount of $8.72. Account 131561 in the amount of $524.39. In account 526552 in the amount of $309.33. That is going to change the balance due on what Reedy Financial has on their claim report. It is noted on the claims docket, and what we have on our claims docket from the clerk treasurer's office is correct. So that's what the Board of Works will be signing, as well as council.
We need approval for this.
Well, with those changes, yes.
Any discussion? Entertain a motion.
So moved.
A second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Anybody from the audience want to speak? Hearing none? Go to the podium, please. State your name.
Hi, I'm Connie Canoe. I'm sorry. And I would like for you to tell me how you hired a summer help.
We went through the applications, and we had 28 was allowed to hire in Silver City, and they was allowed to hire 16 to the pool.
Okay, are they Lawrenceburg kids or?
Some are, we had to go to Aurora and some other places to get people for lifeguards. We didn't have enough qualified lifeguards.
Well, what's the qualifications?
They had to have a lifeguard certification to be lifeguards at the pool.
Well, I mean, Civil City.
Just, they went and ran me through the applications.
Okay, my grandson put in an application 4 years ago, and he lived on Kirby Road. And he was thrown out because he lived out of the city limits. Okay, this year they hired a girl from Lexington Street. That's farther out.
I would hire Lawrenceburg High School, or school system.
But he was in Lawrenceburg High School system too, and he didn't get hired.
I wasn't here then.
I know you wasn't, but that's why, and I know another girl that's 26, she's same age as my youngest son, and she's still summer help. How are we doing? There should be an age limit when this is supposed to be for kids in school, I thought.
Probably one of the college kids, but they got out in April, we said we'd give
No,
them
no,
one more
no,
year.
no, she's been out.
They should have got hired.
She's been working. And we've had other ones, not giving no names, but everybody knows that there's other people that's worked through school year, and now they're working summer help.
We give the college kids one month.
They're not college kids,
I don't know if
though.
that is or not, but that's the way it
These
is.
kids have been employed.
I didn't know that.
I mean, I thought this was supposed to be for 15 to 22-year-olds,
for college
kids that's
kids,
in
too.
As
school.
long as they're in school
Long
and
term
in college, and then 1 year after they get out of college, they'll bring them back one more time.
See, I was never under that understanding.
We've done that for years.
Okay. Thank you.
Anybody else in the audience?
Mr. Mayor,
State your name, please.
I have some questions here for you. Number one, what's the ratio of African Americans to white that are working in the city?
What's your name?
What's your name, please?
I'm Steve Salter.
Steve Salter. My HR person's getting that all together. I don't have that together right now.
Okay. When jobs are offered or listed in the paper, is the city of Lawrenceburg obligated to give interviews for said positions?
The board went through the applications, and they found some ones that were well qualified. They didn't think they'd have to go through.
So
They hired the best qualified person they seen.
how do you know they're the best qualified if you don't give them an interview?
They went off the application.
Well, there was probably 300 applications, and if, we brought each and every one of them in, a lot of them never had no way near the qualifications. And the ones that did, there was like two, and we had what, they was requesting in the job application they did, their qualifications, and that's who we picked.
Okay. What are the requirements for the refuse positions? Is it a Class A license or a Class B license for those positions?
It was stated a Class B is the lowest you can get. But we had an application, had a Class A with doubles and triples. We have a person who's going to retire that's got the Class A, that's filled his obligation on that.
Okay.
That's the most qualified applicant we had.
Okay. Is the city of Lawrenceburg required to create jobs for citizens that live within the community who are unemployed? I mean, if somebody lives in the city and you have a position open, and if they're qualified, and somebody else puts in the same application, they already have a job, and they're qualified also, which one Would you get the one that doesn't have a job or the one that's already employed?
I think we're obligated to hire the best possible person we can get.
Okay, with equal qualifications. Both have the same qualifications. Which one would you hire? The one that's already employed or the one that's not?
Let's see the application, go through the application. I mean, that's a hard question to answer.
Okay, the reason I'm asking these questions is that we feel that the blacks are not being represented in the city for positions for the city, and we feel that something should be done about it.
I just hired a black tonight.
Who?
Mario Ty.
He's been here all along.
I brought him in full time.
Please?
We hired 4 summer help.
We're not talking about summer help. We're talking about people with families that needs a job and they're being overlooked.
There's a lot of, like we had 300 applications. There's a lot of people who's upset.
When I look through the application, there's nothing on there about race or age. I look at what the city's asking for in qualifications. I'm one of the ones that goes through them. You know, I know it's been out about the gentleman you're talking about, and I'm sure he just got his CDLs. He's never really got out there and drove and been in the traffic and went through all the stuff. It's a hard job, and you're not gonna make everybody happy.
Yeah, but still,
we try to do our best.
The ratio, I think you, if I'm not mistaken, you have 114 employees and only 4 black.
Well, we're talking about majority or minority. You know, we've got Mexicans. You know, we've got women. There's a lot more involved than just black.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Anybody else?
Your Honor, my name is Owen Cross, and I mean no disrespect to anyone. I just had surgery. When you were campaigning, you promised me, Donnie, you promised me that you would do the best for the citizens of Lawrenceburg.
I think we have.
Your words to me, when I spoke with you the other day, you told me that you picked the best qualified person for the job.
Right.
To run a lawnmower, what do I need to do? What kind of qualifications do I need to pick up stuff around the city?
That job wasn't for a lawnmower.
No, but I'm saying with the summer help. I agree with the young lady about the summer help. Okay, you bring back the same people every year, year after year. Don't you think it's about time to give somebody else an opportunity? The policy's set for this year, but next year, consider that there's other ways to do this. Okay, you bring back the same college people. You have one individual that graduated this year, and you brought him back. I just graduated college. I don't need a summer job. I need a job for the future. Do you not agree? But you brought them back. I'm just saying what you when you're running for office, Mr. Mayor, you beat my door down. And the only thing I asked of anybody that put a sign in my yard was work for the citizens of Lawrenceburg.
I think I have.
Do not work for me, because we all got to walk by the same rules. So if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I think in this case, I think we ought to reevaluate some of these situations, like for summer help. And say, you don't have to do it because I'm asking, but I'm saying you have a lot of disgruntled people, and they're saying all we're asking for is an opportunity. Okay? And the same thing with how many people have been called back? In the thought process of being hired, how many people have been called back for an interview?
I couldn't tell you a number.
Okay. If it was a job that, like a labor or something like that, where you're going to get a lot of people, you know, about everybody can do labor
but
work
don't you
and
think
stuff, we would bring in them.
But don't you think you owe that individual an explanation of why they didn't get hired? If I remember when I would try to get a credit card, they would at least send me something back in the mail to tell me why I didn't get a credit card.
Oh, and I think you know Bill Bruner. He is the other guy on the Board of Works.
Yes.
He's not here tonight. He's in Florida. But if you would ask him, you know, as we was looking through these, there's just so many, and I know times is hard, and everybody needs a job and everything. My words were, I wish that we could hire them all.
I do too.
I understand that. I understand that, but you can't hire everybody. But at least afford that person an opportunity to be heard. Just don't write them off and say, okay, we hired Bobby here. But tell the chief, well, he came for the same job. We're unable to hire you at this time. We'll keep you in the running for 5 months, 6 months. But the same thing seems to keep occurring. That's all I'm saying. My thing to you, and I'm almost done, my thing to you was that all I asked you for, and all I asked you for, all I asked Jane for, was work for the citizens. You gave me your word.
Well, I don't think anybody that was running.
I didn't say, sir.
I don't think anybody that was running was totally for the way things were done.
True.
Some were, some weren't. But Owen, we've hired a HR person, and she is looking over our procedures and everything, and it's all being discussed. It's going to take some time. I know it should be done by next year.
2 things. I'm
But there's a
done.
lot of things on the plate right now.
2 things I'm done. Would you look me in the face and tell me this here? How long is too long? How long is it going to take to look into this?
Well,
I want to see it. I want to see the change before I die.
I think you will. If you don't
I'm not
die
trying to be
tonight, I think
smart,
you will.
but I want to see the change because you said we can't please anybody, and I understand this here. But as a black person, I'm saying, when is the change going to come that you hire X amount of whites, X amount of this, X amount of that? But I'm still saying, but you haven't had a black person. When I ask you the question, I definitely got to quit talking because I'm about losing it. I asked you, I said to you about the Board of Works, would you ever hire a black person? Do you remember what you told me?
I told you yes.
If they were qualified.
Qualification, I think it's our obligation to the city, people of the city, to hire the most qualified person we can get.
If I only look at 1 or 2, how am I going to know who's qualified and who's not?
We didn't know there were several hundred.
But I ask you, we're just rambling on, but I ask you specifically, would you hire a black person in any city position? What was your statement?
Sure will. If they're qualified for the
My
job.
last question to you would be, when?
I will not put somebody in a job that they will get injured at if they're not trained for the job. I will not do that.
I understand that. But even with the gentleman you said about the CDLs, I thank God for Don Combs' dad, because he gave an opportunity in the police work, okay? Because I watched my applications being thrown in the garbage can. Look back, and it was thrown in the garbage can. And all these promises kept coming. But there were nice guys that say, I'll give you a shot at the title. And all I'm saying, but everybody keeps giving me these campaign speeches. When's it going to happen?
I held my end of the bargain. If I told you I would hire the best qualified person, we did. We did it as a board.
Okay. Okay.
Anybody else?
How y'all doing, Mayor? My name is Steve Salter. I've called you numerous times when the position was open. When I first started working for the city, it was summer help, and I got to know everybody that was working there, and everybody grew to love me. I was working and having a good time, and then I went to Seagram's, and I was there for a while, and they did their big layoff. So, I've been struggling. I got a family, and I told you, I said, what do I need to do? I have my permits. I said, what do I need to do? I said, do I need to get my license? Because I said in the past, you've all have hired people with just their CDLs. And you just said that, they've hired people with their Class A's. You said that was what they needed. But there's people who just didn't even have their CDLs at all and just got their CDL license, and they're just now getting on the road. So what's that? I mean, what's their? They've already been working for the city, and they just now got their actual license. So what experiences?
That's the reason we hired CDL. We didn't want to go through that again.
Right, I understand
I told
that.
you it'd be a plus if you had CDL.
Right, and that's why when you told me to go get my CDLs, I went to go get them. If I knew I needed my Class A's, guess what? I would have got them. You know? And I mean, I just don't understand. I asked you, I said, all I want is a fair chance. That's it. If I'd have got an interview, you know what? I wouldn't even be here. But me turning in all my applications the way I did, and you and Bill, and I mean, there's a lot. Mario, all you guys signed my reference sheet. So what is that saying about me? You believe I'm a hard worker, right?
You work 5 minutes more than me.
Right. You, after I got off the garbage truck when I was summer help, who always took me with them? Who helped build all those awnings down there with you? Laid the concrete? Me. All I wanted was a fair chance. That's it, man. I got a family to support. It's hard. That's all I wanted was a fair chance. And if I knew I needed my Class A's, I would have got them. I would have got them. I went to Indianapolis, spent money that I didn't really have. I failed it one time, went back the second time, and I passed it. It's $350 that I wasn't giving back, but I was happy and I was proud because I passed it. I mean, all I wanted was a fair chance. And with me turning in all my applications and not even getting an interview, that was like spit in my face. Like, you know what? Turn in all these applications. Not only are we not going to give you the job, we're not even going to give you an interview. All I wanted was a fair chance. I'm done. Thank you.
How y'all doing? I'm Pete Todd. Everybody knows me. I got a question for you.
Go ahead.
I've had one interview for a garbage position. I went from being interviewed to not even being looked at. And you throw in this thing about a hazmat. I got 7 years experience on a garbage truck. If there's anybody that's qualified to get on a garbage truck and drive it and everything else, which I've been doing, you're looking at him. And I didn't even get a call, nothing. You got the most qualified. You got one of your buddies that's a freaking fireman, you know, and that's a bunch of crap.
I didn't know the kid.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, she doesn't tell me who he was. I
You know, I mean, there's been so many promises made and everything, you know.
Promises to him, I'm telling you.
I've jumped through hoops to try to get on down here.
The kid
And I work for a civil city, Greendale, okay? I'm trying to better myself. You know, when I didn't get the job last time, you know what they told me? You already got a job. You know what that is? That's discrimination right there.
I didn't tell you that.
You know, yeah, you didn't. But you know what? I'm right here, number one, supposed to get, you know, another look. When you hire again, Board of Works didn't even take a look at me. And I'm pretty sure it was under your advisement, you know, which is crap.
I didn't even talk to the kid. I didn't know.
Whatever.
Got that wrong.
You know, then how do I go from getting an interview to not even getting a look? Explain that to me.
Where are you living now?
I live in Greendale, but what's that got to do with it?
Well, we
What's
tried.
it? No, wait a minute.
You asked the question. We tried it. We try to keep the local people working.
See, that's
And
bullshit.
if we got to go out of town, we'll go out of town. But if we got
That's
some,
bull crap, because, you know, half the people that work for Lawrenceburg do not live in Lawrenceburg.
well, that's been the past policy, and the same way about the CD.
They just hired a guy from
You're going to listen, or
Dillsboro.
you're going to just keep on? Now, you asked, some of these people that got in here without CDLs before, that was the old administration, and they brought them in here, and they gave them 60 days to get them and things like that. We're trying to change that. We're trying to clean it up. We're trying to do it right. We got an HR person now, and it's not an easy job. There's a whole lot of other things that's going on in the city that's having to be looked at right now. It's taking a lot of attention, you know, away from some of these little things that mean a lot to you and me and everybody else that's out here that don't have a job. But we're working on it.
So you're saying my interview was just bogus, is what you're saying? So last year, it didn't mean anything, right? Didn't mean a thing. And you talk about the most qualified, I don't believe a word of that. I'm sorry. That's all I got to say, but I promise you, you'll hear more about it. It ain't the end of it. I ain't gonna let it go. I will not let it go.
Anybody
That's
else?
crap.
Oh, Lord.
I'm Jane Pope, and with all due respect to the mayor and Mr. Todd, I'm glad that the HR lady's going to look into it. I believe in affirmative action. I believe that as the city of Lawrenceburg, we should be an equal employer, equal opportunity employer. And I think that we need to do this in a timely manner to let the public know what the ratio is for minorities versus Caucasians. And I'd like to address the issue of summer help. Why did it change this year that you did not no longer have to be enrolled in school to get rehired? Before, I can understand if you graduate, the summer you graduate, I'm okay with you coming back, but we had 2 or 3 people that I know that had graduated the year before, came back last summer, and came back again this summer.
Answer that after last year. I wasn't mayor then.
No, Mayor, this year they came back. They graduated last year.
Did you know anybody, Donnie?
Worked their summer.
How many did?
3.
I wasn't aware.
I don't want to name personal names, but I can show you later.
I wasn't aware of it. You?
That they were no longer enrolled in school.
The only policy I know of is...
I have no problem with a senior in college graduating and working the summer after he graduates. I have a problem with a college graduate that goes to work for a year and is completely out of school and is called back for summer help. I don't know if we can, as council, make it a city ordinance that you have to be enrolled in school or have just graduated from high school or college. I don't know if we can do that or not. We can look into that. And I believe, nothing against Mr. Todd, I believe that all summer help, all summer kids that are hard should live within the city limits of Lawrenceburg. I threw out 3 to 5 names of kids from District 1 that desperately needed jobs. One of them is almost homeless, and out of all of them, none of them got hard. Eventually, one of them did. I also, no disrespect to Mr. Todd, believe that you should hire city employees that live within the city of Lawrenceburg, which you did. The 2 city employees that you hired do live within the city of Lawrenceburg. I am a city council woman. I made no promises to nobody other than I would do the best that I could for the community and for the people in my district and for the people in the city of Lawrenceburg. I've had several phone calls. I've had several one-on-one conversations, and I hope that you will take some of my suggestions into consideration, which you already have by contacting HR. She's a wonderful person, Jenny. I'm sure she'll look at it, she'll get the facts, and she'll let us know what we need to do to rectify anything that needs to be rectified.
We're going to make some changes. The board is themselves. So, she's been busy. She hasn't had time. She's only been here 4 or 5 months.
Right.
And she's been very busy. She's going through some things. We're going to change the way operations are. It don't happen overnight.
Thank you for your time.
We try to hire as qualified people as we can within the city limits.
I just hope that we can...
It's not an easy job hiring somebody and telling somebody they can't
No,
do a
because
job.
I know everybody's desperate for a city job. There's a ton of people out there that qualify. I just hope that we can, especially with summer help and city employment, stay with people that live within the city limits.
The guidelines of summer help was Lawrenceburg High.
With the exception of the lifeguards. I know that they had a hard time finding lifeguards that were qualified from the city of Lawrenceburg, and if you can't find qualified lifeguards, then go to Aurora, go to Greendale.
We had no choice.
And that's fine. Thank you.
Thank you, Jane.
Anybody else?
Mr. Mayor and members of the Board of Works, You're seeing tonight disgruntled people because this city historically has not hired African-American employees. So you're seeing a culmination of frustration coming from these people. And they have a right to, because I'm coming here and I don't need nothing from you. I got a job. I don't need a job. But I represent them. As pastor of a church in this city, the only African-American church in the whole county, I come representing them. And I want to tell you, you said you hired the most qualified with the best CDL. The law says you cannot use something that is not pertinent to the job as a discriminating factor to stop someone else from getting a job. So if they had a CDL and the job said you need a D CDL, if they had an A CDL, it doesn't matter if the D is what qualifies that person for the job. So I think what we need to look at is we need to stop turning our backs to people and stop looking and saying, I don't care what you say, what you think, what you feel. These are the people that you were elected to represent. And maybe sometime you just need to call people together and explain to them. The Bible says, in all thy getting, get an understanding. We don't understand what's going on. So until we understand what's going on, we're going to continue to be frustrated. And we're going to continue to go to the voting booth and make sure those who make promises, who are supposed to stand with those promises, do what they're supposed to do. Not every African American in this room is a member of my church. But they call me and say, we don't understand what's going on. I tell them I don't understand what's going on either. All I'm saying is do what you're supposed to do. Represent every person, regardless of race, creed, nationality, color, religion. Represent everybody. And represent them fairly. And you won't have all these people coming here. And I really don't care, and I no disrespect to the councilwoman. But if you want to hire the most qualified person, it does not mean that they have to come from Lawrenceburg. What it means is you hire the most qualified person. If you have someone that got a look one time, why couldn't they get a look a second time? It doesn't mean that everybody on the list next time is better than them. But why wouldn't they look at? So you got to disgruntled people, your residents, the people you were elected to represent. Every February, every January, we come together and say we're going to work together as a community. When do we start? When do we start working together? When do you at least start explaining to people what the procedures are, what the problem is, what they need to do? And I guarantee you, you won't have disgruntled folk here. But until that happens, we will continue to be disgruntled. Like I said, I don't need a job. I have one. But there are people in this room that believe that they have been overlooked, they've been mistreated, and they're not happy. And today, as pastor of the church in this city, I stand with them. And I will continue to do what I need to do to make right or wrong. Quit hiring your buddies. Hire the most qualified people. Because if we continue to do that, we will always be disgruntled and we'll always be here. Okay? Thank you.
Any more? Hearing none, moving on to motion of adjournment.
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Council meeting 5 minutes.
Utility
board,
We're just bypassing you on the aisle. Thank you. Yeah, please.
Suzanne?
Yes.
Them figures that you was reading off,
Yes, I will get you a copy if you want to stop by the office tomorrow.
them number. This thing's got
Yes, that's okay. No, go ahead. Sure. Yeah, that's right. Sorry. My bad. Well, because what they did, I can tell you what they did. You had a summary.
Is these mistakes
No, it's council's financial people, the mistakes they made.
ones they hired?
Yes. These are the bills I got paid from you, okay?
$10,000.
But somehow they saw this, and I think, without me looking at it, I think it was part of your receipt section, where you have receipts, but it's not part of your total due. Like, whatever you had in your total due, that's what we paid you. But they added these two things in here, and I don't know why. Like, they just misread the invoice. That's what they did. 33201. Yes. Correct. Yes. Well, they approved that in addition to that for their financial people. That is incorrect. This is the amount right here that you're getting a check for. 68.50.
That's what I heard too.
If you want to stop by the office, yes. If you want to stop by the office, I'll be more than happy to show you what they did.
I wanted that sometimes too.
Sure. Well, I know. We're right to stop everything. No, that's fine. That's perfectly fine. And you can stop by tomorrow and we will show you. Okay? You're welcome. That's okay. No problem. Where did Donnie go? Donnie? I don't know.
Okay, same here.
Your buddy wants you.
Yeah, I want to go running.
Working. Roofing. Bill is out, and I'll see if Aaron is. I'll be there. On the hottest days of the year, doing roofing for somebody else. Excellent public speaker.
Who, me?
Excellent public speaker.
Did you say he was like...
Wicked how that stuff can get hold of you. Wicked how that stuff can get hold of you.
We start off with prayer request. This is one hand.
Teresa, that gum's on my desk.
Yeah.
I need you guys to sign this as one utility claim.
It was an $8,400
That's what you that's
Thank you.
Do you agree with me on the Lawrenceburg thing?
Hi, Mark. Aaron. Or Jane. I need a signature there. It's utilities. Approval of claims.
When you girls gave the claims to be checked and approved,
There ain't nothing.
Everything.
I mean, yeah, this.
I think those were, how much money are we talking this time?
Geese and storm sewers.
The batch number 2, I think it's 700 and.
In the engine, I think
You want me
they
to
do
step
hydraulic.
aside?
I mean, it's still like,
No, I estimated. It just depends. You don't.
You want me to step aside?
Is that a transformer down?
yeah, I'm seeing there.
I'm not sure if you want batch number 1 or 2. That's Suzanne's area, but when I was saying that
Everyone included those.
right, he was if he was in that section. Batch.
Yeah, and I forgot to tell you that.
Right.
Okay.
Which that should
Sorry about that. This is my busy season.
On tape. I'm
Job.
not And you can
I appreciate it.
I can't get Doug to hit me if I fall asleep.
But everything.
Thank you.
I'll scan these in, I'll give them back to you tomorrow.
Register.
You don't need grant?
This is,
You'll have that.
is Doc. I love everybody.
47 minutes.
Did you put my razor in the new batch too?
I do that all the time for you, Aaron.
During baseball season, mine aren't going to be very long, because I like to listen and watch the baseball game.
I know when this was coming forward, they're going to hire additional. They're trying to hire one, but they got.
SJ, the Howard was included.
Thank you.
I put it in there, I know it's in there.
So what is this?
I signed the plan, I signed the plan.
Report from Brady. I thought I saw your,
names on the email too.
My computer has a virus. I can't get into it, and I don't do it at work.
That's okay. Trust me, I know when our computer's down, nobody realizes you can't operate without it.
Council's going to be home.
That's why I'm waiting on my iPad. Where's my iPod?
Grant's gone.
No, mine will be short. I've got two items, one in committee reports and one in new business.
Oh, is this tonight?
Hi, Tom.
All utility board meeting to order.
Councilperson Jane Pope.
Present.
Councilperson Aaron Pope.
Here.
Councilperson Bill Bruner. Absent. Councilperson Mike Lawrence.
Here.
Councilperson Doug Taylor.
Here.
City Attorney Joe Boton. Utility Director Mel Davis.
Here.
Mayor Dennis Carr.
Got it right. Here.
And myself.
Thank you. Any announcements? Hearing none, approved minutes of the previous meeting.
So moved.
For second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Committee reports, new business, Mel Davis, US 50 project.
Committee report, Your Honor. Our electric utility has again been awarded one of the reliable public power provider designations. We were one of 18 out of, I believe there were 87 applicants. We were one of 18 that won this award, and this is the fourth time that we've been a recipient. This award is more of a benchmark against other utilities. They judge us in safety, outage response time, customer service, system improvement, and continuing education. So I don't have the plaque here with me this evening, but I would like to thank the mayor and the utility board for allowing us to do this, and it pays off, guys. This doesn't lower our insurance costs, but it gives the employees a real sense of pride, and I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
New business, the only item I have, Your Honor, is I talked to the utility board about this, I believe, back in December. Now that school is not in session, I'd like to request to proceed with the bidding process on the US 50 water main. This water main is from Water Street to just east of Walnut, goes down Water Street and across to Front Street. We have plans and specs ready.
You brought this up before in front of them?
We brought it up under discussion, just as a discussion item, Your Honor, and now what I'd like to do is proceed with the bidding process, get this done while school is not in session.
Anything to the board?
Is it a 12-inch main?
It is.
And then this is just replacing the other one because it's...
This is replacing, the best I can tell, Councilman Taylor, is part of the main that this will be replacing is roughly 100 years old. This is the one that breaks either when we have a homecoming parade or when it's about 4 below zero.
That's that old transite line?
No, it's ductile iron, and it's in one of the lanes of 50. This new section along 50 is going to be a directional drill, a directional bore, and it will be under the sidewalk. So when I die and it does break, they won't have to dig up the street.
So there won't be any like sidewalks or anything like that. It's not going to be tore up or anything.
No.
It's just going to go more.
Going to go under it.
So we're not going to mess up 50 traffic?
I hope not, Mike.
I hope not, too.
Any more from board?
Is it something that's already been budgeted for this project?
Yes. Yeah, the money's set aside.
I make a motion we go forward with the bids.
For a
as asked
second?
by the-
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion approved.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mel. Any old business, Mel?
No, sir.
I have something. Evidently, when I gave the contracts to Connie, Mr. Davis was included in the Board of Works instead of Utility Board service. You all have an employment contract between Mr. Davis and the Utility Board of the City of Lawrenceburg. I guess we can put it under old business or new business. This is a one-year contract, automatic renewable on appropriations, and ask the board to take a look at it and vote on it tonight.
I got one correction that might be made on number 13.
Okay.
It says, according to the laws of the state of Indians instead of Indiana.
I was gonna say that too. And actually,
You're right.
they all do.
Yeah,
They all do?
except for Jenny's.
Okay. That's going way back, huh?
Yeah.
Any more for board?
All right, if it is passed, I will correct this.
The only other question I have about any of the contracts, I guess I can only vote on this one, but it says vacation time starting May 1st. But what if the employee already had taken some vacation time earlier this year? Would that be taken off that, or?
It was 2 weeks, period, for the year.
Because it says starting May 1st, but if it's for the year, that'd be fine then.
Right.
That might have been, I know that's what was in Jenny's because of how she started with her 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
But I would think that Mel, Maria don't give it, like theirs would be according to their hire date, not this, correct?
That's correct. And I did that because Mr. Hughes was going to go to Alaska this month and did. Okay.
But his reverts back to the January, correct? This is just to fix the contracts?
That's correct.
Okay.
Any more from board? I'd entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to accept the contract for Mr. Davis.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Ayes have it.
That's all I have.
Thank you, Joe. Review and discuss claims and board approval.
I'll make a motion to approve.
A second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion for adjournment?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Pledge the flag.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Councilperson Jane Poe?
Present.
Councilperson Aaron Cook?
Here.
Councilperson Bill Bruder's absent. Councilperson Mike Lawrence?
Here.
Councilperson Doug Taylor?
Here.
City Attorney Joe Votaw? Police Chief Gene Hunnefeld?
Here.
Fire Chief Johnny Tremaine?
Here.
Utility Director Mel Davis?
Here.
Mayor Dennis Carr?
Here.
And myself.
Any announcements?
Yes, I have one. The letter that I handed out to you guys at the meeting on May 14th in regards to Tom Talbot, Community Mental Health, for the meeting dates, and Mr. Talbot is present, for us to set up a time for a meeting. In the letter, it says Thursdays are good for him. Just to remind you guys, we do need to have 48 hours notice. So I don't know if you guys have a preference, or Mr.
I'm fine for any Thursday. I'm good.
Next Thursday.
Next
Is there
Thursday?
anything going on next Thursday as far as meetings, or
This coming Thursday or next
Next
week?
Thursday.
Next week, okay.
is that good for you?
That's fine.
What time?
I don't
I got
one.
It's the 31st, but what time are we talking about?
Is 4:30 okay with you, or 5 o'clock, or I don't? Okay, so you want to do May 31st at 4:30?
I'd like to make it 5 o'clock if possible.
Okay, is that okay with everybody? Okay, May 31st at 5 o'clock? Okay, I will send notices out.
Mayor, I have an announcement if I could.
Go ahead.
The city lost a great man Friday.
Yes, they did.
Dennis Lewis, better known as Louie to me. And I'm going to miss him dearly. I see him pretty much every day. But he lived for the parks in Lawrenceburg and Little League and the Babe Ruth program. And I would sure love to see this board and the Parks Board consider doing a memorial of some type at the Little League field, if at all possible, in his name.
I think that's very good. He did a lot for the parks. He lived for them. Go to the building or the microphone.
You all know me. My name's Tony Abbott. We do have a brand-new Little League field that I think would be nice to name after Dennis, because like you said, Dennis was all for the kids in the parks of the city.
That's true. The other field was Chick Field. I think that'd be very well.
I think that'd fit right nice for Dennis.
And if we could throw Louie in there.
Yeah.
Can I have a motion for the board?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We'll head that up. We'll get something nice for him.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Approval minutes from the previous meeting.
So moved.
I got a question on that. Common Council, May the 7th. I asked a couple corrections to be made. Doug asked some corrections be made. And then after checking the DVD, the minutes are correct as typed from April 19th, 2012. No change will be made.
Yes, that's what Jackie stated. She did review the DVD.
We could review it too if you'd like.
Yes.
The remarks that I said I made, and they weren't recorded. I was just asked that they be added in. And Doug can speak for himself on Common Council.
You're talking in regards to the guest home part, not the Doug part, correct?
I'm talking in the part where, I don't even know if I said I'd been on city council for 3 months, but it was implied that city council and the mayor had done nothing for 3 months. And I said, yes, we have. We benefited the Yes Home, which was in the original minutes. And I also said several individual groups, which she said in the minutes, I believe, 2 groups. And she neglected to put in the minutes at all that us as a utility board kept the utility rates from being increased to our patrons.
Okay, we can go back and check the DVD and do the correction verbatim if you'd like.
I just know I stated those facts.
Okay.
Also as far as on my part, I did receive phone calls in the matter there on the part there would be the only thing on my part too. Whether it was picked up on the mic or whatever.
Trace, I think we should do it verbatim.
Yeah, we'll just go back to that meeting, the meeting before that. We'll do them verbatim and get all the corrections made. I think that'd be best for everybody.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes with the corrections.
Second.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. Committee reports. Streets, alleys, and curb, Aaron Cook.
I only got one thing, Mayor. I had a resident call me about when they're pulling from Vine Street onto West Center, that the U.S. Bank trees and the bushes on the 106 Center on the left, you can't see either way when you're pulling out. And I went through there again today, and there's still you can't see when you're pulling out.
Where's it at on West Center?
When you're pulling off from Vine onto West Center, you can't see either direction because of U.S. Bank's landscaping and the guy's shrubs on the other side.
I haven't got to trim them back.
And that's all, Mayor.
I'll throw something in there, Mayor.
Go ahead.
Down at Tanner's Creek Drive and 50, the street sign's a little messed up. Kind of leaning and twisted and,
We've got a long list of signs to be corrected.
Yeah, there's quite a few. Kids play havoc with signs.
I think the wind's doing it.
That's a big sign. The wind gets that quite often, actually, so.
It's on the list, but I think they're just running short on manpower.
Are the stop signs at Mary and High on the list also?
Yes, yes, they are. In fact, I think they got one, they started on some handicaps, parking right there. They've got stop bars, and they got to move some signs around. I know we had one guy who was off work, sick for a while, and they've got the list.
All right.
I've talked to them, maybe not daily, but 2 or 3 times a week, and it's just as soon as they can get to it.
All right.
Yeah, just a list. Tell them to get on it. See if city workers can do it.
Yeah.
Mike, how is that going to be as far as the stop signs there at Mary and High? I mean, I know it's going to be back off the sidewalk, but with people not accustomed to that, I know Hoggy had talked about putting something
Signs
up.
out for temporary basis.
Yeah, just temporarily to get people used to it.
Yeah, and
I mean, they're
that's
gonna go
something that we can do. Like I say, it's going to take some adjustment. I mean, I'm the worst offender. When we make a change, you drive these streets year after year after year. When you make a change, you don't pay attention to it.
Right.
We're going to have that problem. We'll have there'll be 4-way plaques put up on them. They'll have 24-inch stop bars that'll jump out, but we're going to have some issues for about a month until
We talked
people
about
get
putting
used to
center
it.
line signs out there just for temporary basis.
yeah, because I've been in a lot of small towns, and they have them there permanent, in like a big flower pot or something.
I got a couple things, Mayor, if it's okay.
Go ahead.
District 1, I've had some complaints that people are not coming to full stop at the stop signs. And now that school's out, they're worried about, the children. And it was suggested, I don't know if it's feasible, but how we have the signs, if you don't come to a full stop, you will automatically be fined.
Complete stop free?
Complete
Rolling
stop.
Whatever. I love it.
And I guess it's going on a lot over on around Martin Luther King Drive and side streets down through there, and St. Clair on back, George Street. And or if we could maybe put signs up to impose fines, or maybe drive slowly, we love our children, or whatever. It's just that they're not coming to full stops, that, Gene may want to have his patrolman take a better look at it over in that area. And also notice some street lamp lights are out on St. Clair Street and Arch Street. They were out on Elm, but I think those have been taken care of.
I think they was getting parts with him, Mario.
You're talking on the luminaries, the
lane
pipelines.
Right.
We'll make a run tonight. We'll flag all the ones around.
Clark, you take care of the signs.
Yeah, the only thing I do want to say with, at the high traffic area where people were, on 50, you stop, you look around, you really look at them. Just as we mentioned, creatures of habit. If you start putting, and we run into a lot of money with those rolling stop signs, you start putting them up. After people see them for a week or two, it's old hat, and they don't even notice that they're there anymore. We can do that. Like I say, you're going to get into, and you start putting them up here, and next thing you know, we're going to have 300 of those signs we're going to have to put up. They don't come cheap. So the effectiveness for the amount of money in the downtown streets, I just don't know.
You may check with legal counsel. Actually, I think it takes an ordinance to back that up if you're going to find it.
Well, those are not.
Absolutely.
Those are information signs too. They're not regulatory. The stop sign is what carries the big hammer. On US 50, people stop at a traffic light a lot of times, where they're out there. They've got time to sit there and stare at them and look. And Jane's right. Rolling stops. Me and Mario were out, and we had someone do it right in front of us today. Would a sign made the lady not do that? I seriously doubt it.
Her bumper was already
So
off.
I'll take whatever direction you guys give me, but
You got some, maybe we can put some up, we have to make an ordinance.
we would have to get those made up. Those are not a routine stock item sign.
But you wouldn't have to put them on every one, though, Mike. I mean, there
No,
are
but
certain
when
areas I think
somebody will
she's
see
trying to
something, and if they see one person roll through an intersection somewhere else, you guys are going to get contacted, and, I mean, I'll do whatever you guys want me to do.
Maybe we there's one in Aurora on Billingsley Drive. And you go clear up top the hill, and you're going out to Ridge Avenue, I think it is. And
There's a couple
there
in the
that
city.
they ran through that a lot, and they do have one there. I'm not saying that you should do it. You may be right. I'm just making a suggestion.
There again, we can do it. I just want you to be aware of my experiences. We'll end up spending, a lot of money doing this, and I just don't know how effective that really is.
Okay, Gene, you might step up patrols over there. Keep an eye on it.
That seems to be the most effective approach that we've had to deal with in the past. Obviously, with school in Lawrenceburg being out this week, we'll change our patrol procedures, but the best thing the council can do if you get called from a voter is just to give us a call so that we can note it, and then what we do is we either post a directive or we send out a blanket email that says we have a problem area, and then what we will do is they will be told to either, do some stationary, the same way when the stop signs go up at West High and Mary. You can sit there for a while. We had to do the same thing when we got the turn arrow from Front Street to US 50, and after a few weeks of that, and a few written warnings, and they get the hang of it. If I didn't know that there was going to be a stop sign, at High, and I would probably, just like some of the rest of you said, go right through it. So that's our best approach, and it's not a problem. Just let us know.
So I can contact you directly about an intersection where they're rolling through instead of stopping?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Mike, if you do those signs and such, you'll need to get with city court and update what the fine is, because the fine on the signs here in Lawrenceburg is
Is that
a fraction
incorrect?
of what it is nowadays.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, like I say, you guys need to let me know if I need to go ahead
Well,
and
I'm
get
just
some
saying,
of
if
those
you do,
made up or not.
that cost is a lot more than what it was.
I'd go ahead and get maybe a dozen made up right now.
Okay.
Use them as we need them. But we're going to have to do an ordinance for these signs.
Mayor, also brought to attention the traffic light down here at High and Walnut, as far as making that just a four-way stop and bringing down the flashing red light, getting it out, because all that construction is going to be going on down there. Really, truly, it's got the one road, Mario, going to be blocked off anyway, going straight towards the
No, it's going to be
monument?
active. New Street, headed to New Street.
Right, because it's already a four-way stop anyway, and you could go ahead and take that electric there down and just put four stop signs. Well, you don't.
Well, Mel and I talked about, I guess it was Thursday or Friday,
Mhm.
looked at that, and I think that was Mel's plans, actually, to take that light down.
But I think that would be a good idea with everything that's going on down there. I'd get some of the stuff out of the way, too, as far as the lines and all.
Okay, you already got this spearheaded to go?
Yeah, like I said, Mel and I talked about it Thursday.
Any more on streets and alleys?
Thanks, Jim.
Finance report, Gene Pope.
None reports in the packet that I didn't get one in my packet, though, I don't think.
You didn't get a report from Mr. Reedy?
I did via email, but I can't.
Oh, okay.
Problems with your email.
If I'd known that, I would have had them make you
I'm having
one.
problems with my computer, so I didn't actually get a printout. The report has been emailed and should be in everybody's packet. if
I
they-
saw your name on the CC, so I just assumed that you got it.
I have a question on a couple, unless you want to do it at the time. Which I see a thank you letter here when we come in tonight, but on the Destination Imagination in Lawrenceburg Primary School, $3,515. I guess that was at $5,000 we approved for Fun and Fitness Day. I think it got split up.
Right, it did.
But
Yeah, it was approved and it went.
yeah, because I didn't
Yeah.
know that it got split up until a couple of days ago. And then, because I thought we approved it for Fun and Fitness Day, but
Well, they came back, said they didn't need it all for that, and they wanted to know if they could use it on that part too.
Right.
okay. And then one of the ice miller claims.
I'd like to follow up on that Fun and Fitness Day. We did grant $5,000 to the last day of school for Fun and Fitness Day. Shouldn't that have come back before City Council for us to approve the school to take $3,500 to apply it somewhere else?
He called me and I said, go ahead and do it.
Is that proper procedure, Attorney Mr. Votal, or should it have been ran back through the council?
I'm sorry, Jane, I was preparing myself for Mr. Lawrence on the ice miller bill. What,
We donated $5,000 to LPS for the last day of school, Fun and Fitness Day.
Didn't use it all.
I guess somebody from within the school system called and asked if they could use $1,500 for Fun and Fitness Day and use $3,500 for something else.
Destination Imagination.
Destination Imagination, which I don't have a problem with.
He called me and asked if he could split it up. I said I didn't have any problem with it.
And he called the mayor and asked him if he could split it up, and the mayor said, okay. But would the proper procedure to allow them to do something else with the money, should it have been brought back before council?
Or at least called, as far as individuals.
I'm not saying he made the wrong decision, and I'm not saying that I wouldn't have done the same thing.
well, I think you all got some communication problems. I mean, why doesn't somebody call somebody on the phone?
Well, that's.
We didn't find out about it until after it was done.
Okay.
But I'm just asking, is it okay for the mayor and the clerk treasurer to okay money to be spent differently than the way we agreed for it to originally be spent?
If you don't want it spent that way, then back it up and do it over again. If you're saying if it's okay, no, it's not okay as far as you all didn't approve it. But if you all don't want that, back it up and pull it back out.
I'm okay with it, but from now on, could we at least be considered and have it brought back before city council before it's transferred?
You're not talking to me.
Sure.
Thank you, Mayor.
I thought the money was appropriated, so we just give it to him.
Well, we thought it was going for Fun and Fitness Day, the whole $5,000.
And Carl Gailey called me to see if he could split it up. I didn't have any problem with it. I'll start having him come to council meeting.
Maybe we should suggest let's say if you award somebody $5,000 and they decide to allocate that money differently, like not going over that amount, to come back to the council, and that way everybody knows at once. Like,
That's a
you
good
guys make
suggestion. I think that should be done.
Your motions, that way there's no communication errors and.
I will make a motion that if money's allocated to any organization and they choose to use it for some other reason other than it was first allocated for, that it be brought back before city council to be approved.
Can we, as far as on this, with this same situation going on here, though, with that motion, that means they're going to have to wait 2 weeks for it to come back up.
It would've been over
That if
with
we
by the time you
could,
did it.
I believe if it had just been a phone call or anything like that, that this would have been not a problem at all. Because I wouldn't have had a problem with it. But I do have a problem, like what the school had, when they had somebody coming here. You know, I don't want somebody coming here and asking for $5,000, and then come to find out they don't need but $1,500, and you got $3,500 out there hanging out there where you don't know where it's at. But I mean, in something like this, I believe that this could have been worked out without having to go 2 weeks later to a council meeting to get approval for it. That'd be my only.
Well, the time was on that, he was running out of time.
Well, I understand that, but I believe that I don't believe we need a motion to do this. I think that it would be a thing if it came to the mayor's office, and then same scenario, and he contacted the council, and it was all was good, that would be fine. I don't know that we need a motion or we need anything of that.
But I'm not
nature to
sure
do
you
it.
can do that. You might want to check with legal, because that would be making a decision outside of public.
That's
If you're just
correct.
calling one.
One
I mean, we're just,
1, 2, 3, doesn't matter. I'm just saying you might want to check it.
Any changes, I'll bring it back to council.
Whatever we need, I just don't think 2 weeks would be,
But you can have a special meeting if it gets
Have a
down
special
to
meeting.
Right.
This council could call
48
me
hours
too.
notice.
pardon me?
This council could call me too.
Yes, sir.
I mean, Jane, you're referring to big changes, not if they said, hey, I want to have 1,000 for fun day and 1,000 on Thursday ice cream party. I guess, you know.
I think the full $5,000 could have been used for Fun and Fitness Day. They're making do with the $1,500. But I don't have a problem with giving $3,500 to
Destination Imagination.
Destination Imagination. And Mayor, I'm not, you did okay, if you decide that was fine, but the thing I'm asking, and Suzanne, does it need to be brought back before council before appropriations can be changed? Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying check with legal. I'm just saying I know there's a lot of
If you want to do
issues
it
with
correctly, you got to bring it
decisions,
back.
right?
You got to bring it back, okay?
Now on, I'll bring it back, if it's late, it's late.
Or we can make a special meeting?
Moving on, yes, we can.
48 hours notice.
Jane made the motion, who makes second?
Nobody yet. I'll second.
Okay.
Nice.
Now on, I'll bring it back to council. Okay. Fire department billboard bridge is now here.
There was one more thing.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Mike, I want to address that for you. Actually, we have that. That's something that Jackie did prior to her leave of absence. And it was taken out of council, and it will be corrected under Reedy Financial's advisement of what we will call batch 2, which I'm hoping will go through tonight so I can pay some more bills. It will be reflected in their total May 15 claim doc. I'm also hoping and assuming, again, that you have batch 2 because you guys were CC'd from Mr. Kyle and Mr. Reedy via emails. So,
Also, copies remain to give to
for Valerie, we have a copy for you, which I'll give to you at the end of the meeting.
The batch 2, right?
Yes, May 15th.
It's not listed on there.
It's listed in the total.
It's in the total.
Which
Okay.
me and Brandon
And that
talked about
is-
today, but that's coming.
So it is being
later.
taken care of.
Yes.
Okay.
Per Mr. Reedy's office.
Yes.
Thank you.
Is that it? Yep. So moving on, Police Chief Gene Honerfield.
Thanks, Mayor. Just one comment to the Common Council. If one of the members wasn't in the room at the beginning of the Board of Works meeting, I reported to the board that there was a large number of applications for the one afternoon clerk's position. I also invite this council to contact the police department with any comments or positive, productive input you can give us on any direction you would like us to see us go to in the hiring process.
How long do you plan on that taking, the hiring process?
I guess it would depend on, like I said, if I receive any input from the Common Council or the board. We can obviously narrow some down if we begin with background checks and our usual procedure, but I do look for it to take weeks.
How many do you plan on narrowing it down to before interviews?
I haven't really given it a whole lot of thought. I just did the count today. The local paper, it was advertised that the deadline was Friday, the 18th. So we went back this morning because we've updated the website of the police department and people were able to fill out the applications online. So we went back this morning and went ahead and took what happened or whatever came in over the weekend. And but that would be a good starting point. Any suggestions that we can receive on how lengthy of a interview process all of you would like to see. Obviously, earlier we had discussion, and I did hear a couple of comments that people were more upset that they weren't contacted or they weren't given the courtesy of an interview. So all of us as a group can probably as we know from experience, do better than just me by myself or my group, and I welcome anything.
Do you at least send a letter out to everybody that applied, just to let them know we received your application or resume?
We usually do that. It's just, like I said, kind of caught us off guard with the large number, and I mean, to a point, we expected it with the economy that we've had since '08. I guess maybe we just don't feel it as much because of our location. We're in a little bit better situation, but we're always aware of it. But we always try to send letters. We've done that in the past.
Okay.
We got an HR person, we sit down with her today, and when the board works and all of us get together, we're going to sit down and make procedure how to do it.
That would be a good course of action too, Mayor, and I know that she's been overwhelmed like everyone
She
said.
has. I talked about some
a lot of
changes today.
updating that needs to take place in the entire city.
Right.
Nothing further, Mayor.
Thank you. Fire Chief Johnny Tremaine.
I have nothing further, Mayor.
EMS Director Bobby Mills.
Yeah, in the package is our run totals and the letter from the Sheriff's Office referenced purchase of 432 that we're going to replace in August or September.
Thank you.
That's all I have.
When's the new unit going to be in?
We're supposed to have a completion date in August of some time. So.
Where's it coming from? I mean, where are they building it at?
Van Wert, Ohio.
Thank you, Bobby.
Thanks.
Building Inspector Carl Fryman.
Nothing, sir.
All right. Rub it off, isn't it? Rub it off. New business. Lawrenceburg Lions Club, problem with skateboards.
I'm Steve Wagner. I'm here on behalf of the Little League program. Apparently, our person in charge of our concession stand, Linda Mumphrey Harper, has informed me that the kids are over there with their skateboards and skates, and we see them. Some of them, you can just mention it to them, and they'll leave while the games are going on. There are signs posted that they're not supposed to be there. But lately, there's been a problem, apparently, with some are making comments to Linda, well, I can't read and whatever, and not responding to to a request that they not be over there. And we've had one person who was collided with a skateboarder. Apparently she wasn't seriously injured, but I guess got hit in the heel or something with a skateboarder. So we were wondering if perhaps we could get some regular walk-through police patrols during our Little League games, not necessarily an officer there the whole time, but maybe once or twice during the night. I don't know, maybe once or twice on Saturday. I don't know if this is happening on Saturdays. The complaints I've heard have mostly been during the week, in the evening. We have our 4, 5, and 6-year-olds that play on Saturday.
Yeah, I'm there on Saturday mornings. I don't see them over there, so it must be during the weeknights.
I mean, I know there because I do a lot of announcing, and from up there you can see a lot of what's going on. And I mean, they're coming through, and frankly, I think some of them aren't even thinking about it. And most, well, I'd say at least some of the time, you can simply mention it, and they'll go back over to the park or whatever. But there apparently are some who are giving some of our folks a hard time and are leaving them uncomfortable about, some of us are the last people to leave there at the end of the night, and it's creating some discomfort that way.
I respond to that, Mayor.
Yes, go ahead.
I was made aware of this Thursday evening. I was personally at the 2 Little League fields to see my grandson, and I did speak with Linda Harper. She asked me to speak to a young man that did have a skateboard. I think what we have is like he just said, that a lot of them just don't think a whole lot about it when you're 10, 12 years old. But I did explain it to him in a respectful manner, and he treated me with respect, and he left. We have since addressed this issue. There again, we're changing our patrol techniques. School just got out. I have a directive that went out over the weekend. There again, it goes along with the blanket email. They will have been instructed to these times of the evening where you have groups of people in our downtown or Ludlow Hill Park to increase their presence. They will be getting out. That's good PR. PR is a very useful tool. It works. Our bicycle patrols are out. As a matter of fact, when my wife and I were going into the Little League Park last Thursday, a Lawrenceburg officer, it was the first night a bike patrol was coming out. So the biggest thing is when I talked about earlier on the stop signs, if people will communicate with us, we'll do our utmost to correct the problem and take part, because we all live here too, and it's just as important to us as it is to everybody else.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Back to our Main Street banners. Request permission to place.
You should have some excuse me, you should have some illustrations in your packet as kind of a mock-up of the look of Walnut Street and how it would look with these banners. These are decorative banners. You've probably seen them in a lot of communities. The whole reason to put them down Walnut Street is I think we all acknowledge the fact that sometimes the entry to downtown is kind of lost. People don't know where we are, so the banners are to focus attention on that. And if you look at the design, and this is just a proposed design, it isn't the final, but we've kind of got two variations of the banner. One just says thinklawrenceburg.com, and then the other one has a movable piece that can be taken off, and we can keep switching it for whatever events we have in town to advertise those on the banners. So these banners, the way we look at them is they would be interspersed, alternated on light posts down Walnut Street. Maybe a few on East High, but at this point, we'd stay away from West High because of construction.
Anything, board?
The only suggestion I would have is, if you're not set on the yellow, I mean, orange might be a little better for Lawrenceburg colors, but that'd be my only suggestion.
Okay. Well, look at that. We're kind of back and forth on the colors, so. And Mayor, I think too, last year there was some discussion that the city might acquire some additional flower baskets to put further down Walnut Street, and they would alternate between these banners.
Right.
I don't know where that is, or if
I
that's
talked to McCabe, and he didn't order the last one, so we're going to have to find out where they got ordered from.
Okay.
And we'll look into that.
Thank you.
Mike, do you have any idea?
I have no idea where they came from. I thought Mike got the last ones.
How many would you be needing of the baskets?
I don't know. I didn't go down and check and see how many there were. I know last year we talked about the possibility of, because they're, you know, they're one right next to the other right now on this section of Walnut Street. And we talked about the possibility of maybe detaching some and putting them on the others. But the word that I got was that those things have been there a while. They might start really deteriorating if we try to move them to the other locations. They're pretty heavy. Those are pretty large baskets that we have.
We'll look and see if we can get some more of them.
Okay.
McCabe is starting to plant the flowers now.
Yes, they look very nice. It really looks good. I saw that. So I would be requesting your permission now for these banners to go down Walnut Street.
I'll make a motion to allow the banners to go down Walnut Street.
Here, second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much. And I wanted to also let you know that I'm still working on this sign on US 50 and Walnut. I keep pursuing it, and I just got an email back from the state, and they're going to try to move it forward. So it's the state of Indiana. I don't know what else to say, but I'm still on that. Also, do you have any problem at the parking lot where the farmers market is? This would be my second request. There are 2 light posts there, and we'd like to put a farmers market banners on those.
Anything with board?
Kind of mark the area. Okay.
No problem? I don't have a problem. Go ahead.
Okay, and the third banner request, we've got a lot of banners. This third one is a little different. We'd like to put a large banner hanging over the top level on the side of the parking garage where it could be seen from Short and High Street for Music on the River. The reason is that moving to the new location, a lot of people are concerned about where to go. If we could hang a large banner, it would kind of mark this is the new home of Music on the River.
Good idea.
Is it going to be, because they got the parking right there as you come into the garage, is it going to come down below that?
No, it would be on the
Hang
very
above it?
top level. Yeah, it wouldn't obstruct any other signage or anything that's there now.
I mean, that one is on the side of the building there, the parking
Okay.
sign. I don't know how far it would come down as far as a banner would be.
Yeah, we checked, and I think we got with the parking garage people, it's going to be above it, there's enough free.
Well, how much room's above it, though?
I think it's like 5 or 6 foot.
Yeah, we would be careful not to obstruct that.
Well, it would see it. I didn't know how much room was going to be about it.
Yeah, I think we calculated there would be enough space. It's just because we're getting a lot of calls. People are not sure. There's some confusion on where to go and how to get there. And we're going to have volunteers plus additional signage, at least for the first few Music on the River, so everybody knows where it's now located. But we thought that would also help if we just had a banner there through the 14 weeks of the series, just so everybody knows where it is.
Some of the volunteers, is that going to be some of the high school that they could get their hours in for the scholarship?
We hadn't asked volunteers from the high school yet. I mean, I have a few on my Main Street committee.
Okay. But that'd be a way that they could get some hours in doing that.
Okay. How do we, I guess just in the paper, we would get the word out to them?
Carl?
Contact the high school.
Okay.
Mr. Snyder can send out a message to everyone. Call all the high school students, let them know the opportunity for an hour.
Okay, great. Thank you. Appreciate that.
What's the board's pleasure about the banner?
I'll make a motion to allow the banner.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And just to remind everybody, our first summer event is June 1st, Party in the Street, right out here on Walnut Street. Hope you all can make it.
Thank you. Dale Reinhardt, asking for donation, American Diabetes Association for bike ride, June 16th.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. My name is Dale Reinhardt. I'm with the Fire Department and EMS. I'm asking for a donation of $1,000, well, not a full $1,000. My donation is $1,000 for the bike ride. It's June 16th at Lebanon, Ohio. It's 35 miles. So far, I've raised just a little over $1,000 just by donations from other people. I'm just asking for council for just a little bit more to help with the Diabetes Association.
Anything on the board?
Is this something the Community Foundation would be interested in, you think? Or
Have you been to Community Foundation, Dale?
No, I have not.
Maybe you ought to check with those. We do find some money over there for them.
When's their next meeting?
You may go and put an application in first.
Okay.
It's.
Because the ride's June 16th, so.
Oh,
I don't know when they meet.
They're not going to be in that.
They probably won't make it that time.
No.
I know,
I'm out.
Do you have a figure you're looking for, Dale, or?
Whatever council wants to give is fine with me. Like I said, I've gone through other businesses, and I got a donation from Johnny in the fire department and from Bobby, and I got one from Mr. Lawrence. I've gotten, I've raised $1,000 is my goal. I'm over that, like $1,250, I think it is. If the council, if you don't want to give, that's fine.
Do $250.
I just like, might want to give it to the Diabetes Association.
Well, I'd like to make,
That's what he's got.
I would like to make a motion for $250.
Take it from the mayor.
City promotions.
Marketing.
Marketing, yeah.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Good.
Thank you.
Let it
Mike
280,
Clark.
284?
DCH Medical Campus Subdivision replat.
Yeah, Tony Deanna.
Thank you, Your Honor. The Dearborn County Hospital has done a replat of their medical campus subdivision. It was originally a 5-lot subdivision. They've taken lot number 4, separated that, split two lots. Number 4 has been removed and replaced with lot number 6 and 7. This has gone through the Lawrenceburg Advisory Plan Commission, was certified by them, and forwarded on to this board to get your certification. And I do have the Mylars here. Like I said, we can sign these after the meeting. They are quite large, but...
Anything board? Entertain a motion?
So move.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Tony D. Abbott, price adjustment for out-of-town missions and pool parties, lifeguard concession hire.
I'm here tonight on behalf of the Board of Works, pool admission rates for year 2012. Board of Works is, you all did get the little flyer here for the rate increase. This is what they've, we should raise it to help. It's like for the pool parties, the city loses money. Last year they raised the rates and helped it out some, but as it describes here, we still lose money if you figure in chemical, electrical, and water usage. Basically, I'm here to see if it's all right to raise the rates. Get your guys' permissions.
Anything on the board?
So the Lawrenceburg residents are free and out-of-towners would be $6.
Right.
I think it'll help the overcrowding of the pool, too.
How do you... We do have a problem with the overcrowding. It's Lawrenceburg pool's getting known as, say, the Lawrenceburg residents, well, we're not going to go there because there's so many people there. And it's mostly out of town, northern Kentucky and Bright, Harrison area.
You guys do make good babysitters over there.
We do. But that's okay.
Anything more, board?
My own opinion, for out-of-towners, I'd raise it higher than that.
We do agree on one thing.
I mean, you know...
Actually, these rate increases for like the pool parties, they're not that bad. They're about the same as Greendale's now.
Yep, because...
That's in Greendale pools.
What is Greendale's?
I think it's the same now, 125, isn't it?
Well, for their, or like the passes and stuff, we're in line with Greendale now. We were, I used to be, like I said, it was $100 for a family of 6. You know, we're back in line with what Greendale has. They're $125 for a family of 4 plus what their additional, you know, with our admissions going up $2 per person. We were just looking at smaller. If you guys want to go higher, that's entirely up to you. We just thought, we went up from $2 to $4 back in 2009, and then it was like, do we go up another $2 now? And
what do you consider out of town, or...
Anything out of the city of Lawrenceburg.
Yeah.
Whoever pays
okay, so they
bill,
go,
whoever pays
so
electric bill in Lawrenceburg.
Not driver's
gets in
license,
free.
that's utility bill.
Right.
Yeah, utility bill.
It's based off their
and one thing
utilities.
you also might want to consider is now the beach waterfront is closed.
Right.
So a lot of those people are going to come down to our splash park with their kids.
I mean, even if you raise that to $8 a day, where you go for $8 a fun?
The thing is, the chemicals are costing us a fortune.
Yeah.
And the more bathers they got in there, it's out of sight.
And like I said, guys, when on the good hot days, we can have 600 to 900 swimmers there.
And what's the capacity of the pool?
Pool is 363, I believe, but you also have to figure in the splash park, which has got about 1,000. The pavilion is about 1,000. So if you figure it all in, that's under the total capacity. But most of that total capacity, they're in the pool.
Right.
It's hard to distinguish, you know, the areas because we're actually one facility now. Now, for people who go into the pavilion, most of them are people who are in street clothes. That's where they have to be. So we are not going to count them as part of our patron count anymore.
You said like 900 to 1,000? Is that what you said?
600 to 900 on a good
600 to
day.
900.
Yeah.
Out of that, what percentage is typically out of towners?
2/3.
We have quite a few.
Busloads.
Harrison does not have a
I think
public
we should
pool
raise it
anymore.
higher.
Their pool shut down 2 years ago because it had a hole in it. So most of the town of Harrison comes to Lawrenceburg. They were splitting it up between Cheviot and Lawrenceburg, the whole town of Harrison. And as of last year, a lot of those that went to Cheviot are now coming to Lawrenceburg. So we're getting quite a bit of out-of-towners.
Well, with the increase in the people coming to the pool, I see here you got pool employees from last year was 28 and this year is 24.
Well, okay, it was 24 at that time because we cannot find any lifeguards. The lifeguards are short this year. We are now up to 26 total employees.
26 lifeguards?
No, 26 total. Here, I got
How many
it.
lifeguards do you need to be?
I want a minimum of 18 lifeguards, and that's what we have now. I would like to have 20.
You had a hard time getting those.
Yes, I've begged, borrowed, and stole lifeguards. We have 18 of them. 11 of them go to Lawrenceburg High School.
Mhm.
The rest of them are from East Central, Aurora, Guilford, I think one lives at. And then we have 8 cashier monitors and concession stand workers. Now, the cashier monitors, concession workers, the only ones we hire are the ones that on their summer help application put pool. So we don't see the regular summer help applications, just the ones that say pool. That's something you guys might want to change next year, just take from all summer help.
We're going to make some guidelines.
So how many employees do you have there this year?
26, 18 lifeguards.
So this here is just too short then, because it's got 24 in
Right,
it.
that's why I give you the new list.
The new list is actually 2 less than what we had the previous year.
That was as of Thursday list, Doug, and then I had one lifeguard quit so he could work with his dad full-time, and we went out and found some more lifeguards, so you got the new revised list there with 26 of them total.
Okay.
But if you guys tell me to go out and hire 2 more lifeguards, I'll go out and find me 2 more
How
lifeguards.
often do they have that lifeguard, the certification?
It's
Is that
done
Red
now.
Cross?
It's
already
all
gone?
done now. They usually cut it off in,
They start in February, and actually, that's when they do the actual certification, and then they do recertifications after that, which our kids just, there were 5 of ours that had to have recertification done, so.
How long is that class? That's not something you just could
It's
show up
about
at?
5 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah, it takes them
It's
about.
like one night a week?
They usually do 2, I think it's 2 days a week, and they go for so many hours, because they have to have so many hours in
Okay.
to do the certification.
and actually, they've upgraded this lifeguard class. It's a lot harder now than it was, say, last year, because we know of a few kids that didn't even pass it.
Mike, now's your chance to raise it.
I would suggest at least raising per person to $8 per person.
You put that in a motion?
I'll make that in a motion, and the individual pass, maybe bump it up another $5 to $70. And family pass, maybe $135 for a family of 4.
Keep additional $25 per person.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, keep that the same, I think, if they buy a family pass.
Family pass was what?
$135.
Do we have a motion to hear a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 All against? Ayes have it.
All right, so we have for the regular admission, $8, individual pass, $70, and family pass, $135, $25 for every other member after 4.
No senior passes.
Oh, okay. Did you guys see in here about the no senior passes? We've only sold 2 in 2 years.
2 years.
About 4,
Or
actually.
4 in 2 years, so.
So they really didn't catch on very well.
Do you want to continue those, or drop that, or?
The seniors that live within Lawrenceburg get in free anyway, so.
Correct.
Right.
They were just for, mostly grandparents that lived outside Lawrenceburg brought their grandkids down. The grandkids, if they lived in Lawrenceburg, got in free, but the grandparents had to pay admission.
Unless they sat in pavilion. If the grandparents sat in pavilion, they didn't have to pay nothing.
Right. If they were just there babysitting their grandkids and the grandkids swam, then the grandparents, we didn't charge them just to sit in the pavilion and watch.
What's the board's direction?
Pool parties.
So how many grandparents would you have as far as that would actually partake of the pool? That it would even be an issue?
Very few. But you do have some grandparents that might want to stay around the pool.
Yeah, but
with
some of them
kids.
grandparents are great babysitters.
They
yes.
are. They're fantastic.
Trust
yeah.
me, my guards appreciate those.
Yeah.
Well, can I make a motion then for the seniors, out-of-town seniors, that they get a $2 discount to the $6 admission if they're swimming.
So do like a price for senior citizens, maybe, and what age would you like that to be for?
Well, let me just interject. How many seniors is going to be at this pool that they could just go there and be there?
From out of
That
town,
gonna be a
we're talking.
problem?
Out of town, there's really not that many. That's why we've sold so few.
Because, I mean, you go to your restaurants and that, and you get senior discounts for all different things like that. Why can't they have a senior discount at our pool? And they could help out, because a lot of, seniors, grandparents, and what have you, they not only care for their own, they also watch out for others that are there as well. And that could help you all out, too.
Oh, that's true.
Sure.
So why couldn't we consider that? I mean, unless you got an influx to where but I don't think that's going to be the case.
No.
I mean, most of the seniors are going to be over in the shade of the pavilion and you're not charging for that anyway.
No.
True.
How much would you like to see seniors, Doug?
I like to see seniors no charge because it's a senior pass or whatever.
For out of town?
Yeah. I mean, I guess if it became a problem, we could do
From
it.
that, I was going to say, that could become to an issue maybe with a lot of people from out of town if, depending on the age.
Okay, well, I don't know. I'm just
And-
here and just asking questions. I mean,
Yeah.
we're here to help you all out, and your suggestions would be great. But I mean, I just see as far as the seniors, they get discounts everywhere else.
No, what about a 50% discount? What about $4?
Right.
I'm
Do
game.
away with this, not have the senior passage, we didn't sell any, as you see in
Right.
Jane just said like $4.
That's fine.
For out of town.
Okay.
So then a senior could buy a individual pass for $35 then, if you do it for the passes too.
I would say you just
Daily
do it
admission
at
and the pass, or
Yeah, I would do it
Just have seniors.
for
to
both,
just
half price.
Right.
50%.
Count everything.
Right.
50%, what's the age?
I consider seniors,
I hate to put an age limit.
I was going to say, that's going to be the question. When do we all consider ourselves seniors?
a lot of restaurants, I don't consider your seniors till you're in your 70s and your 80s, but a lot of restaurants
I hope I see that age.
do 55.
Well, I'll tell you what, with a 50% discount, those 50-year-olds are going to say they're seniors.
I'd say 60.
60.
65.
That's my opinion, but
Now, do you put that in a motion?
Okay, so we have a motion to raise the prices, the 8, the 70, the 135. Now we're going to do a motion for seniors,
Half price.
60,
60
Right.
and over.
60 plus, half price on all. Admission, passes.
Well, admission and individual, so they
passes.
can't come and get family
Okay.
pass for their grandkids or something.
Doug, do you make that motion?
I will make that motion that seniors half price with the senior, I guess, being the age being 60 years of age and older.
Here a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Yes. Ayes have it.
Okay, now we just look at the pool parties, guys. A $50 increase to all the pool parties, and I got something else to that too. We had no lights in our pool this year because we had a lighting problem. So we don't want to do any 3-hour parties, because since there's no lights in the pool, when it gets really dark, we may not be able to see the bottom of the deep end.
And what happened to the lights in the pool?
They shorted out.
They shorted out and they'd had to redo the whole lights. It's going to be expensive.
Yeah, we wasn't able to get new ones in time
Time
to
to
have
do
the
it.
pool filled to open up on time.
We're going to
So
go to a different type of light next year, like LED lights.
these lights have been a problem forever. It's every year they leak or there's some type of problem with them.
They're $450 a light.
And as far as the 3-hour parties go, we don't have that many of them. And when we do have them, whoever has them, when they're done, they said, we wish we would have done a 2-hour party because the 3-hour party is just too long. So I don't think that's going to bother us much on the 3-hour parties.
So you're just going to offer 2-hour parties and just be
2-hour
done with
parties.
it?
Right.
Just to be on the safe side. I think with our overhead lighting, we could still see the bottom of the pool when it's dark, but just to be safe, we'll just
At
say,
deep end, it's real difficult.
yeah.
So these prices you have here, you have 2009, is that the prices that you're going with here, other than you said it's
Yeah,
what increase?
this is the prices now.
Yeah, this is the current prices, and it was, what the city cost is basically the labor, that was it. That's all that's figured into there, nothing else.
Okay.
And that was in 2009, that was what the price increase was raised up to. And it was like they went up like $25 per party at that time.
It barely covered labor costs too, didn't it?
Yeah, that's what it does. It just does the
Doesn't do
labor
anything for
cost.
chemicals.
And even with that, it shows a profit loss, but that's not really a profit, because like I said, that's not water, chemical, or electrical usage.
But the prices here, like the 30 people or less, the 2,000 rate, it's 175. Is that what the rate is now?
Currently, yes.
Yes.
Currently.
So you're just wanting these current rates here for the 2-hour parties only to be approved here
$50
tonight?
more.
Pardon me?
$50 more. That way we'll cover all of our electric usage, chemical, and water.
So
It's up to you guys if that's what you want to do, or you want to keep the loss.
So it would be 225 for 30 people or less?
Correct.
Correct.
And ours is rated on people for a reason. It depends on how many lifeguards we have to have. A lot of that is because of the shape of our pool and the design of it. We have to have so many lifeguards on duty at a time.
If we'd had a square pool, things would be a lot easier. And
Yeah.
no slide.
So the bold print here in the profit loss, that's loss. That's not profit.
Basically, yeah, because I said the only thing figured in that city cost is your labor. It figures nothing else for the pool usage, nothing.
So see if you add $50 to it, Doug. Say like we're making $36 on the 30 people or less, but we're making $76 on the 76 to 150. So we just thought $50 would even out everything.
Mayor, you dealt with the chemicals and everything. I mean, is that,
That won't cover chemical, it'll cover probably your labor, the electric and chemicals, they won't cover it.
will there be a change as far as the chemicals with the new filtration system that's in service now, or?
As far as using the chemicals, the use of it, no.
Oh,
The only thing that's going to help us on use of the chemicals is fewer people.
Okay.
Now, with the new filtration, we are going to save a lot of money on labor, cleaning the filters, and a lot of money on the filter material, because we
Okay.
only use 6 bags of filter material, no, 3 times.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
6
hotter
bags
the
of
better
filter
for the season.
material compared to 75 from the old system.
On the new system now?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's only
Okay.
6 bags the whole summer.
But the hotter, the more bathers you have, the
Right.
more chemicals you're going to use.
Yes.
Now, are the pool parties, are they only for Lawrenceburg residents, or
That's
can
for
anybody?
anybody.
So it's the same price for both?
Yeah.
I don't like that.
I know, that makes it difficult for the pool parties are like an after-hours type thing, and I could tell you, I probably should have pulled our pool party rental forms from last year, but they're at the clerk's office being checked over. Majority of the rentals are not from Lawrenceburg people.
Because for
out-of-town people.
Lawrenceburg people, I would rather see it not to make a profit, break even type deal or something, but out-of-towners should make a profit.
Yeah.
Well, we could do something, there is a program in effect that they have been doing for a few years that city employees, if they book the pool, they get a $50 discount. It could be if you're a Lawrenceburg resident, you have a pool application on file, you want to rent the pool, we give you a $50 discount. Give it to everybody, instead
Sounds
of
good
just
to me.
employees.
Then you're going to be the same price.
So then they'll be saying the same price
basically
as
the
what it
same.
has been.
Yeah.
Correct.
So it wouldn't raise.
I mean, that's entirely up to you, but that's just a suggestion.
Can we keep the 2009 pool cost the same for residents of the city of Lawrenceburg?
That's what we're saying.
That's what it would be if we
raise
Well,
it
I'm
$50,
saying keep it at the same, plus give them a $50
That's what you guys
extra
want.
off.
That's what you guys want.
'Cause then you'd be, I was going to say, you would definitely be in the hole then. You wouldn't even cover
Well,
your
you s-
labor costs at that point.
You said the majority of the people rent from out of town anyway.
They do?
How many within a city would be renting the pool?
I'm sorry?
How many families from the city would rent the pool in a season's time?
I wish I had those numbers, Doug, but like you said, they're at the
Well, just
clerk's
a
office.
ballpark idea.
I would say maybe
Local?
a third might be Lawrenceburg residents.
Maybe.
2/3 has
How many
to be.
parties do you have?
Last year, we had, we start booking about mid-June, and we were booked till we closed mid-July, every day, we're available 5 days a week, so we were booked solid. Yeah, we stay booked, and part of that is our rates.
Did you compare our rates or Lawrenceburg's rates versus other cities?
No, I don't know what other pools charge. I think Greendale is a set price of, I think they were either 200 or 250, because I said they have a square shaped pool, so they base theirs is a set price. The majority of our parties are 30 people or less. That's the majority of them that book. A lot of them are like little birthday parties and stuff like that book for our pool. When you get into the larger amounts, it's usually groups that want the use of the pool.
And most of those groups come to you to have it for free anyhow.
A discount, like 4-H will come in and rent, and they ask for a discount or stuff like that. That's usually when the bigger ones, or if it's a huge, every once in a while we'll get a family reunion, and they'll book it. But most of them are that 30 people or less rate that book the pool, majority of the time. The first two on there, or sometimes it's 31 to 75.
Well, I would make a motion to charge an additional $50 for current pricing over 2009 for out-of-towners and keep the pricing the same for Lawrenceburg residents.
Okay.
I'd make that motion.
Second. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All against? Ayes have it.
I just got a question. Was we going to throw that $50 off of that too, or was just going to keep it the same?
Well, they'll be getting $50 off. Keeping
Off
it
of the
same.
new price?
Right.
It'll be the same price as what it has been.
Well, in the past, Tony said in 2009, for 30 people or less, they paid $175.
Right.
A Lawrenceburg city resident would have paid $125.
No, we never had no discounts. They paid $175.
They paid $175.
I thought you said if
No, there's no
they got
discount.
a 50, if they were a city employee or
If they're a city employee, they get a $50 discount.
Yeah.
But not a resident.
not just residents.
Firemen, police,
Yeah.
and city
So
employees get a $50
This way,
discount.
residents can rent it for the same price as a city employee.
Which would stay at the $175
Correct.
Yeah.
rental, and then the other ones are going up to $225. Okay, I agree with that.
Any more, Tony?
I have one question.
Go ahead.
Now, do you manage the concession also, or?
I do, yes.
She does. I stay away from there.
So there's only 4 people that work in the concession all the
Correct.
time?
Makes it a little tight sometimes running in the summertime, but usually I chip in and help them if we get really busy, because there's some days we could use, I usually have 2 kids on the day, and we split the schedule up that way. Every once in a while, I've had to go in there and just work it myself if they needed days off or something, but we were asked to keep the employees down a little bit this year, so that was the
You ever
situation
been there,
there.
Mike? And during Adult Swim, there's 15 minutes.
Which I've
for
only
every-
been there for parties, different parties.
Yeah.
For every 1 hour, there's 15 minutes called Adult Swim, where all the kids have to get out of the pool. The concession stand gets flooded. I mean, the line is the whole length of the pavilion sometimes.
Yeah, so it does pretty well. I mean, with what we
I
offer.
didn't know if needed a concession manager strictly for the concession or not.
I've been doing it for the last
Need workers
2.
more than a manager.
Yeah.
But we got 4 good kids that they have worked there before, and they know how to do it. Now, if we had some new kids, you might have to have 6 of them in there. But these guys they're pretty good workers. They can handle it. But we would never turn down more employees.
Was there talk of an adult manager as far as for the concessions though? I mean,
We've looked in the past, we've had a hard time finding somebody to do it. Some organization to do it.
right.
It's hard for, like, we tried the seniors, it's hard for them to man it 7 days a week.
I think if you would advertise for a position of concession manager, you would probably get some applications, you'd probably get some good people. I mean, that would take a lot off of Tony and Dee could do her job full-time as a assistant pool manager, and we could have one concession manager that would oversee the inventory and the profit, and hopefully the concession stand would make a profit.
I believe it does.
Yeah, the concession stand did
It does
real
make
well.
profit.
And the only thing I see bad about that, honestly, is the monies, with 2 different people handling the monies, and especially the way the State Board of Accounts is doing it again this year, making changes on us. 2 different people handling money, I don't know how well that would be.
What is the hours over there?
We're open noon to 6, 5 days a week, and then on Sundays and Thursdays, it's noon to 9.
Why would there be two different people handling money if you have one handling money at the front door for the pool and you have one just doing the concession?
Well, if you have a manager's concession,
Right.
they would handle
That's what I'm
the money.
saying. So what, there's two different people anyway.
Well, there's two people working at concessions and two people working at the front, right?
Right.
It's not a problem as far as running the concession stand as part of the pool. I've been doing it for 2 years. It's really not that big of an issue. It makes it a lot easier keeping the accounts balanced, and when they balance with the pool, we do the exact same things as far as deposits and stuff go, and staying on top of what State Board of Accounts wants us to do. As far as, the inventory and stuff like that, that's just something new this year. We have to start, they want us to start doing inventory and things. I say, if it got too much, I would say, okay, guys, I can't be assistant manager of the pool and manage the concession stand. I would tell you, it's really, if it gets to that point, I'll say I can't do both things anymore. You need to find another person there. But right now, it's not that big of an issue for me to do both things.
How is the stocking, like for the merchandise, candy, and what have you?
Well, I purchased from 3 companies. The majority.
Better ask my question here is, do you have to go out and get it, or do the vendors come to the
Vendors
place your
deliver to me.
orders?
Yeah. I get Gold Medal and Schlemmer's Wholesale and Coca-Cola. That's who I order almost the majority of our stuff from. We get pretty good pricing from them, and they deliver once to twice a week. The only thing I have to run and get is hot dog buns. Really, that's about it.
That's a real pain, because you're getting hundreds of hot dog buns. Every time you think you got plenty, you're all out.
Kroger's loves me.
Yeah, we get 3 grocery carts full of hot dog buns at a time.
You got an opinion?
So do you want to do?
I thought we did.
Did they?
Did you make a motion on the pool parties?
Yeah.
The raises and the
Raise them 50 and
Okay.
$50 less for.
Okay, you have any more, Tony?
I think that's it, guys.
Same as.
Is that it?
Yeah, we've gone through, I think we talked about the lifeguards. I tell you, 11 of my lifeguards are from Lawrenceburg, and the rest of them we had to go out and get. All the concession cashiers are Lawrenceburg kids. They're Lawrenceburg school kids. Not all of them live in Lawrenceburg, but like I said, next year maybe you want to see about when we hire for the pool, we hire from all the summer help group, because we only get the ones who put pool on their applications. All right, guys. Thanks.
Thank you.
And looks like we'll be opening Saturday on time, believe it or not. We spent all day today putting a new filtering system in. It seems to be working great, and the pool's actually filling itself. That's something new. It's really neat.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Teresa Bruni, school grant request.
This is part of the money that is set aside, the $2 million and $280 that was appropriated. Sutton Dearborn Community Schools, $666,000. Lawrenceburg Community Schools, $666,666. St. Lawrence, $26,000. South Dearborn Community Schools, $667,240.
Anything on the board?
That adds up to the total $2 million?
I didn't hear all those numbers. Do they all 3 get the same amount?
No, they're a little
There's
bit
a
different.
dollar difference, and St. Lawrence gets a smaller amount.
Right here. The Lawrenceburg does, right?
Sutton gets $666,000. Lawrenceburg gets $666,666. St. Lawrence, $26,000. South Dearborn, $667,240. If you don't have the copies, I can give you the copies.
Why does that South Dearborn get just that little bit more? Is that just the way it breaks down, Teresa?
Like my question was, can, like St. Lawrence's get took out before the other ones are divvied, or is that what's throwing it off?
Mayor, would you like me to answer? I'll try to answer the question best we can. Over the past few years, and I know there's representatives from Summit Dearborn, South Dearborn here as well, And generally, in the past, what has happened, the $2 million, the three school corporations have divided it equally three ways, but then St. Lawrence comes to the Lawrenceburg's endowment and makes a request. And this year, they had made a request for thin client computers, which was in the amount of $26,000. So a lot of times, we don't always know, the three school corporations, what St. Lawrence is requesting for. So generally, what would happen is, from that $2 million, whatever St. Lawrence's amount would be subtracted, and then the three school corporations would divide the rest of the amount evenly. So looking at, if you take $26,000 from the $2 million, then the three school corporations would get approximately $657,000. Exactly, it'd be $657,966 is what the exact amount would be for the three school corporations.
What was that, 657?
$657,966.
Because I would like to see St. Lawrence come out of there first and each school get the same.
That's what I was saying. So basically, if you take the $2 million, take $26,000 off of that, then the three school corporations would get $657,966.
So that's what they requested, right? That's what, as you said.
That's what we have done in the past. So.
Right.
You have a copy of Jack Heller.
South Dearborn.
South Dearborn. We've made these requests, and sometimes they're, in this case, South Dearborn's a little bit over, but I believe what the city has done is granted equal amount and make up that difference.
Right. Yeah. So like the $657,966 is what we would be requesting.
So
the three school corporations split.
With their request first, and then divide it up from that. And that is what they've done in the past.
That's what I want to make.
Yeah, the paperwork was just a little bit different.
Past few years now, not every year. When it was originally started, and I want to go back probably 5, 6+ years, it was different for each school corporation. But I would say over the past 3 years, it has been divided evenly.
Any more from board?
No, I want to make a motion once St. Lawrence's 26,000 is taken out to split the three ways for the three school corporations.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
All against? Motion carried.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We appreciate it.
Teresa Bruni, Dearborn County Foundation Grant approval, phase 1 and 2.
Okay, this is going to be phase 1. I just read the name and email.
Yeah.
Right, that's what I was going to do. This is Lawrenceburg Community Grant Program Phase 1, Alzheimer's Support Group of Southeast Indiana. They requested $202,835. That's also the recommendation of the foundation. Dearborn County Clearinghouse, they requested $2,875. That's what the foundation recommended. Aurora Riverfront Beautification, they requested $5,000. That's what the foundation recommended. That's for phase 1.
Teresa, I think this has to be approved separate.
That's phase 2.
Anything on the board? Entertain a motion?
Make a motion to pass the recommendations as stated.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
All against? Carried.
This is Community Foundation, Lawrenceburg Community Grant Program Phase 2, Aurora Lions Club. They requested $50,000. The foundation only recommended $30,600. Art House, they requested $20,000. The foundation recommended $20,000. Aurora Police Department, they requested $13,255. The foundation recommended the same. Aurora Park Board, they requested $100,000. Foundation recommended the same. Hill Forest Historical Foundation, they requested $72,000. The foundation recommended the same. Indiana University, on behalf of Indiana University East Lawrenceburg campus, they requested $57,006. The foundation only recommended $50,000. Dearborn County Highland Arts Council, they requested $75,838. The foundation recommended $25,000.
Wright Volunteer Fire Company, they requested $81,840. The foundation recommended the same. Dillsboro Civic Community Outreach, they requested $9,657. The foundation recommended the same. Lawrenceburg Conservancy District, CAP, or Community Athletic Park, they requested $24,585. The foundation recommended $20,000. South Dearborn Pee Wee Football, they requested $19,338. The foundation recommended the same. St. Leon Volunteer Fire Department, $72,158. The foundation recommended the same. St. John Lutheran Church and School in Aurora, they requested $14,300. The foundation recommended the same. First Presbyterian Church of Aurora, they requested $60,594. Foundation recommended the same. Dearborn County Surveyors Department, they requested $64,920. Foundation recommended the same. Town of St. Leon, they requested $79,915. The foundation recommended the same. American Legion Post 337 Sunman, they requested $63,860. The foundation recommended $24,225. Sunman Dearborn Community School Corp, they requested $100,000. The foundation recommended $0. And the last one, Sunman Dearborn Community School Corp, they requested $39,120. The foundation recommended the same. All of this information was in your packet with descriptions on their recommendations.
Hold on a second. I think on the Sunman Dearborn,
Did I say it wrong?
I think recommendation is 0, not the same.
No, she said 0.
She said
zero.
zero. The second one was the
Second
same.
one.
They had 2.
All right.
Or did they?
Yeah, they
I
had
thought
2.
maybe I said
No.
South Dearborn.
Can I ask a question? On, is there any way to, and maybe the board doesn't want to send it back on one of them to ask for them to do the full amount for the Conservancy District cap fields? Because that's something that helps all our community kids and stuff, and
I got a question on that too, Mike.
Award amount, I mean, I guess.
It's, the difference is $4,585. Can't they, it's the Lawrenceburg Conservancy District fields, can't the Lawrenceburg Conservancy District use their money instead of the Community Foundation money?
I think that's what they're doing. They're sitting on many millions of dollars.
But no, this is coming from the Community Foundation, Mayor.
The LCD.
I mean, can LCD pay that instead of the Community Foundation?
Sure they can.
Mike, I know if you send it back to the Community Foundation, it's going to take a while because I don't know when the next board meeting is, but I don't think it's for a while because I think they just had one. So it might take a little while.
Well, I think as far as with this, the grant process and such, that, I mean, I believe that, that they could add the 4,000 to it. I mean, they've got the money as far as doing it, but as far as with this, I mean, this has been to different grants to other areas of the county, the same thing that they have helped with as far as equipment and fields and what have you on that part.
I agree with that, but LCD's sitting on an awful lot of money.
They are. Quite a bit of money.
Can't they fund their own fields?
We can roll call, you can decline.
I don't want to stop all this going through, because, I mean, that's something we might want to consider in the future.
Can I add something real quick? I think these are just recommendations. I think council can do whatever they want.
Correct.
I think you can do that, Jane. I mean, I think you can raise it or lower it or whatever you want to do.
I would like to see them get the full amount, but I don't have I can't say LCD, you pay for it.
no, my thinking is it's our community kids that benefit from it.
And I agree.
And LCD honestly shouldn't even have ball fields, really.
But they did put some money out there, which was a good thing.
Right.
They have several $1 million in the bank. It's up to you, the board, what they want to do, but they do have money.
Jane, in essence, I mean, I don't know what the project, I don't have in front of me. They will be making a difference up if they want to do what they're saying to do. If they're 4,000 shy, LCD, that's who has to make the difference.
Soccer goals, nets, football goalposts, and field maintenance.
Yeah.
I mean, I believe as far as with the LCD, I understand what you're saying and such, but the same thing, as far as for a similar project somewhere else, they've done that before. And the foundation does a great job as far as with these different grants.
And I think some of our school kids use it for school, I think, son, is that true? Yeah, and then, you know, the Pee Wee football and everything else, I just hate to deny the kids.
Well, you're gonna make it for the 24,585, that's what.
I would make a motion to.
See, we have choices, approve, decline, different award amount.
Right.
Correct.
Mike, you making a motion?
Yeah, I was going to make a motion for the cap fields to change it to the requested amount of $24,585 instead of $20,000.
Everybody hear a second? I'd like a second.
I-
Died like a second.
Didn't have a second.
Okay, now I need a motion to approve the rest.
They're only gonna get 20,000, so, yeah, you need a motion to approve everything else.
Okay, can we slow down here a minute? Getting back to Mario.
Yes, ma'am.
We couldn't get a second out.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you think the Conservancy District will step in and pay the difference of the $4,585?
If they want to do the project as presented,
I'm sure
they'll have
they
to make the
will.
difference up.
They have the funds available to do it.
I mean, we could sit here as far as a council, and somebody could come in here and ask for $1 million, and we could give them $1 million, or give everybody their request. But I mean, I think that this foundation does one heck of a job in
So
doing
you're
all the
agreeing with their
evaluations
call?
and such that they do with all the, you know, how many grants they come through with. And I mean, with the totals that they came up here on this, you know, there was a lot of thought that went into this. And I do believe that the LCD will come up with the additional to make this project go forward. And I just stand for it as far as with the foundation. They do a great job on these things, and there's a lot of man and woman hours put into this.
They do all the background checks and everything. They do a fine job, they do.
I agree with Mr. Taylor. I hate to see you start second guessing this committee because they spend a lot of time.
I would make a motion to accept the grants as presented to this board.
All grants that were in phase 2.
And phase 2, yes, ma'am.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All against? Ayes have it. Thank you. Doug Taylor, Regional Grants.
Okay, what I present here tonight is the Regional Economic Grant 2012 selection. This is the 10 county grants, which includes Dearborn, Ripley, Franklin, Decatur County, Jackson, Jennings, Jefferson, Union, Bartholomew, and Fayette. There were 50 applicants that we went through on this grant. It's a 7-member board. The mayor, myself, Judd McMillan from the state, Mike Rizzo of the chamber, Mel Davis here at the city, Mario Todd here at the city. Trevor Lane is also appointed from the state, Jackie Stutz, and then attorney Joe Votal, and then Connie Myers here as the secretary as far as this board. The geographical areas that received the approval was Lawrenceburg, Dearborn County, City of North Vernon, Town of Hope, City of Columbus, and Ripley County, and also Madison. The amounts ranged from $17,200 to $1 million. The applicants here do them all together like what we just did here, Teresa? And then approve, okay. MGPI of Indiana, which is the Seagrams, which I know as the Seagrams, we'll always know it as Seagrams. The mill end, which is the north end, had asked for $1 million. Windstream Tech, which is a business in North Vernon, asked for $100,000. It's a wind turbine business.
$1 million, I think, Doug.
$1 million.
600,000 on here.
They asked for $1 million.
Requested.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're going on what they, okay, they asked for $1 million. The board awarded 600,000. Or
Can we back up 1 second, Doug? Who is MGPI?
I know them as Seagrams.
Midwestern Grain.
It's the
So who
nor-
is Proximo?
That's the bottling.
That's the bottling end. It's 2 companies now, north and south. But the one here is on the north end, which is the mill end.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Hagford had asked for $250,000, and the board had granted the $250,000. Zimmer Tractor had asked for $922,000. The board granted $500,000. Hardintown Water Project asked for $118,536.25, and the board awarded that total. Proximo, which is on the bottling end of Seagram's, as known, everybody knows it, they asked for $850,000, and the board awarded $850,000. The Dearborn County Economic Incentive, which is the chamber, as far as marketing and such for Lawrenceburg, Dearborn County and such, asked for $200,000, and it was granted $200,000. Wallace-Borough Airport, which is the study that was in Columbus. It was over a ground area as far as seeing if there would be feasibility as far as development in that. They asked for $25,000. We granted the $25,000. And then Indiana Trails, which is in the Versailles State Park with the horse riding stables, facilities and such, asked for $17,200, and the board granted that as such. The total of the applicants, as far as all 50 applicants, was $48,758,006.25. The 9 approvals, this is not including the Madison approval, which was our last meeting, is $3,595,736.25. But these 9 here are the 10 one.
Some of it, what's left, is we're going to use for action grants through the years. Through the year, if a company comes in that one of these cities can use, we'll take into consideration.
And that was the whole proposal. The one thing that I got back from being on this board, and it was a very good board, very functional board as far as a lot of input put into it and such, but that was the main goal, was to have that money there for any action grants or anything that might come up that might be as far as economic development here in this region here as far as working out. And that was accomplished as far as with all this. Helped out a lot of people in this. The Windstream Tech we went to was in North Vernon, me and the mayor, and went up there and seen them. There, all the wind turbines going on as far as the electric and what have you on that part. And then that company has also brought in some other companies down here as far as Indiana, so it's kind of sparked an interest in our area as far as economics and jobs and what have you. And then the Madison, which was $1 million, that was something that came as a result of this other company. So it's doing a lot of good, and the board really, had a lot of good comments and put things together there. And then Connie Myers, I mean, she had all the calls and all the applications and such as far as processing and such. I got a box yay big and so long it got dumped upon me, and you had to go through all this stuff. And I mean, it was amazing stuff. It was a really neat committee to be on and to serve and such. But these are the applicants that I have stated here as far as for our approval here tonight.
The thing was, Doug talked about the Madison job. Dan Hassler, Secretary of Commerce, he goes to California. There's 10 companies a day leaving California. Indiana is getting half of those jobs come to Indiana, and he's looking at this area to do something down here. And it's been really well. It really has. That's the reason we kept the 10 of the grants back for the action grants.
This gentleman, Dan, I mean, he is a very enthusiast as far as for Indiana here in and around. I mean, he is the best ambassador for our area you could have. I mean, he's very, very much plugging this area for the businesses.
He's very much interested in this area. Wish we had flat land.
Yes.
Can I ask one question?
Sure, go ahead.
On the Proximo, it says 65 retained and additional 14 being hired, 10 more in 3 months. Was there any discussion with them or anything guaranteed, maybe, that they would try to hire people back that they had gotten rid of?
They told me no when I asked them.
That was done, those two, the upper end, the lower end, that was done last year. The mayor of last year promised that money to them for this year.
Earmarked.
We didn't really have any negotiations with them. It was already earmarked for this year.
Okay.
And
I'm hoping they do, Mike. I really am.
I hope so. People can use those jobs back.
In the future, when we do give money to MGPI and Proximo, can we recommend that they try to rehire some of their layoffs?
I recommend it.
We do that with them. We talk to these people. We do talk to them. That was done from last year, moved over to this year.
I recommended it to them at the redevelopment meeting. They told me no on Proximo.
Know that they wouldn't hire back?
Mike was there.
I was hoping maybe something changed.
Yeah.
Well, that's something that was already did from last year.
Understand.
Oh, there's one more that, did I get here? The Town of Hope was 35,000, and that was a development as far as the educational center and such as far as for their area. Town of Hope.
They got hit by the tornadoes, went through.
Yes.
It was pretty bad shape.
35,000.
Any more discussion?
Tim's got a comment over there.
Go ahead, Tim, go to the microphone.
My name is Tim Denning. I got a question about the Regional Economic Development Board. First of all, my question is, we're dealing with public money. Why aren't those open meetings to the public? I have to question that. It's public's money. Second of all, I understand that an applicant has to be sponsored by a government agency. Is that correct?
Yes, it had to pass.
All right. Now, my limited knowledge is you go through Lawrenceburg redevelopment to be sponsored. These large businesses that we sponsored through this grant committee, what government agency did they go through? And I feel like grants that are applied by some people are common knowledge. You have to stand in front of this board, redevelopment, God and everybody, and explain your financial situation. I've never been to a meeting where Seagram's or these large corporations had to stand up and present their financial situation. My question is to this council, that's our money. It needs to be dealt fairly. It needs to be open to the public, and everybody should have to follow the same process. And small businesses should get just as much looked at as the large businesses. Jobs are jobs. A dishwasher or a line worker in a factory, probably the dishwasher makes as much money. And I fail to understand how a government agency can sponsor a small business and that Regional Development Commission turn it down because they want, in my opinion, they want to rub elbows with the big guys. That's a bunch of crap. And earlier it was asked about minorities and small disadvantaged people being hired by the city. I want to ask the question, how many of those grants were given to small disadvantaged minority-owned companies? Not a single one of them.
We're going to start a new grant program for that. That process is going to get ready to come in. This was earmarked for industry. This 10-county grant, that's what we earmarked it at. But there is going to be a grant program come up. There'll be some matching grants. I'm going to get that probably by July, get it started. You can apply for that. Well, your grants are in. They're going to put them in with that too. Sure, go ahead.
No one answered my question. Are those meetings, since it's your money and our money, are those meetings supposed to be open meetings?
They are open.
They are open meetings.
I was told, I asked several people, no, those meetings are closed. I asked 3 different people if I could attend those meetings. No.
It's my meetings, and I don't close them. They're open.
All right.
And
Guys.
I would just like to say one thing.
Go ahead, Mike.
Which I'm not on that 10-county grant, but on redevelopment, I will say Proximo did cover the redevelopment.
That's the only one I've seen too.
That's the only one that I saw personally.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
But Tim, you can go when we start the new grant program. Your application's still in there. Okay, moving on. Any more for the 10 county grant?
No.
Entertain a motion.
Wait a minute, Your Honor.
Yeah.
We got to change that TV thing, Mike.
We'll make a motion.
We'll make a motion on
Oh,
that.
okay, I'm sorry.
Entertain a motion on 10 county grant.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All against? Ayes have it. Now, Joe, televised council meetings.
Yeah, I think that this council voted to have the meetings televised, is that correct?
Yes. Correct.
And I think all meetings, as I understood.
Correct.
And I talked with Mike, and if you want to take us over, Mike, fine. I think you and I have discussed it, and we need,
Yeah, which you probably know more as far as about the cable.
well, my understanding is that you did go ahead and talk to Butch Spears about
Right,
it.
with Channel 14.
Right. And at the time, that was what you all voted for.
Right.
But then, since then, it's come to our attention that Comcast will do it, and I think it's even in the process. Is that right? Somebody help me. And John already got that set up?
He's back there.
I think
He's
John's
over
still
there.
here.
Go
Got a call back yet.
Go to the podium, John.
Go ahead and take the podium. It's my understanding, John, it won't cost us anything. Is that correct?
I put a call out to them, and they've got a spotlight advertising system that's got to get back to me yet.
Okay.
Then we can do that if we can do it online. We can do it for little or no money.
Okay.
It'll be available all the time.
But I think, though, the problem is, I think, Mike, you gave Spears the go-ahead, and he made him spend some money or something?
He bought some equipment, $700
Okay.
worth.
And have you talked to him about
I
that?
have not talked to him since me and you talked.
Okay.
What was that? Do you know?
The equipment.
No, I mean, he's been in talk to Jackie.
So the only thing I would suggest is you guys hold up until we find out if we can get it for nothing from Comcast, and then maybe address reimbursing Mr. Spears what he's already put out.
And I'll wait to talk to Butch or Mr. Spears until John finds something out.
That's all I have, Your Honor.
Okay. Have a motion table then?
I'll make a motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any old business? Hearing none, review, discuss claims, approval board?
Mayor,
Yes.
I don't know if you want me to read those again for batch one. That was what was read in Board of Works, the corrections for approval of claims.
Does anybody need to hear that over again?
No.
I'll make
You've
a,
got it.
I was gonna say, I'll make a motion to approve with the corrections.
Here a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All against? Ayes have it.
Was there another resolution going to be here tonight on?
I think we need to
old
do a resolution.
I've never seen one. I don't have one in my packet.
I think they was emailed.
We got them because we talked a lot, but I don't know about.
I didn't have one in my packet.
I don't have one that.
Again?
Teresa, can you see that the mayor gets these when they're emailed to you?
Now on, we did, from now on, it's gonna be here Thursday at quitting time, but it's not gonna be presented till the next time. We did make a
To make
resolution on that.
Sorry, to make it clear, the emails that we are getting, we're being CC'd on.
Okay.
Unless it's something that me and Valerie are discussing, or Heather, as far as like, when I say discussing, like
No,
the
I-
copies of the Ice Miller bills, that would be something that we're discussing, or Suzanne, but everything else is, we're being CC'd on, and it's basically being directed to the three that hired the financial people, correct, Suzanne?
Can I have a copy of that too, because I couldn't get into my email, the ordinance or the resolution?
Teresa, did you want
I
to?
don't, I can, do you want to make a copy?
Did you want to bring up the state board? Okay.
Do it now?
And he doesn't have, did you
Pardon?
get him email?
Wait Wait till
It's
he
just
gets
to
up.
pay our claims, we gotta get it through. Batch 2, batch 1.
You want to go to the podium and read this?
Need to read the resolution.
Grable?
Ms. Grable?
Or whoever.
Whoever, which one are we going?
Is this going to be the one?
Teresa, where will this pay us up to? What date?
I'm sorry,
What date will this pay all the bills up to?
From the first resolution or from which one? This one, the second one, or the first one?
This one I got right here that I just got. It's emailed to everybody, I guess.
The one for the total of the 707?
So
That goes up to batch 2, which the cutoff date was last Wednesday, correct, Suzanne?
Correct, and I have some corrections to that, too.
everything from last Wednesday on won't get paid yet?
That will go, that's starting normal procedure,
Okay.
like how we do
Okay.
our cutoffs and things like that. But Suzanne said she did have corrections to batch 2, or they call claims report or docket, which is the total of 707.
Well, it's my understanding there's some padding in there, but there's also an ice miller that, Mike, you were referring to earlier,
Yeah.
as well as Doug. That's included in that total as well, so it's very difficult for me to give you what, I guess, what they did wrong as opposed to the total that I have, because I don't know how much they put in there to pad it. I can go ahead and list the errors that I found, like I did in batch 1, if you'd like me to do that now, Mayor.
Go ahead.
Okay, the first one is for Conklin's Florist, for a total of $112.95 as opposed to $117.95. That was instructed a couple times to Mr. Reedy's office, and the correction is $112.95. I have a duplication to a Comcast bill of $8. So there should only be one $8 total in there, not two. I have another duplicate for Dave O'Mara contractor that should not be there. It's a duplicate of $956. I have what looks to be a typo, which happens with everyone. Dave O'Mara, $10,205.73 should be $10,305.73. And that appears to be everything that I have noted. Again, Ice Miller is added into their total of the 707, 520.70, as well as some padding that I do not know about. Mr. Reedy's office did not inform us of that total.
That totals the 775, I believe, which is the transfer of resolutions, which the total of the Ice Miller was what, 42? Which the total...
Ice Miller is $47,075.
Sorry, so they had the total of the docket of 707, but the total of the transfer is 775,000.
But what about the 34, 754, 46?
That's the amount she just said.
Okay, so it's not going to be took out of the council?
No.
Okay.
It'll be put back in.
Back into this.
Ready to read the report?
Sure.
Go ahead.
Mayor, members of the council, my name is Kurt Grable. I'm with Barnes and Thornburg. We've been engaged by the Common Council to assist it in this budgeting and financial matters. The resolution that you have before you is entitled a Transfer of Appropriation Resolution, and I'll go ahead and read it. Whereas it has been determined that it is now necessary to transfer appropriation from one major budget category to another major budget category in budget year 2012. Whereas the transfer of appropriation does not require expenditure of more money than the total amount set out in the budget as finally determined by the state. Whereas the transfer is made at a regular public meeting. whereas the transfer will be certified to the county auditor. Now therefore, be it resolved that the City of Lawrenceburg City Council, Dearborn County, Indiana, that the following transfers of appropriations be made to the 2012 budget. These transfers are all within the general fund, and the first transfer is within the street department, and there is a decrease in appropriation of $50,000 for personal services. Within the sanitation department, there is a decrease in appropriations of $160,000 for personal services and $25,000 for other services and charges. Within the fire department, there is a decrease in appropriation of $150,000 for personal services. Within the police department, there is a decrease in appropriation of within personal services of $225,000. Within the EMS department, there is a decrease in appropriation of $110,000 in personal services. Within the City Hall department, there is a decrease in appropriation of $35,000 in the category of personal services. Then within the Common Council department, there is an increase in appropriation for other services and charges of $775,000. And that is intended to cover the claims that are going to be considered for your approval this evening. If you have any questions, I'd be more than happy to try to answer them at this time.
Was any of these, did you go to any of these departments, ask about these departments, was it going to hurt their departments, how to run it, if you decrease their money? Is any of that checked into?
My name is Valerie, and I'm with Reedy Financial Group. If it pleases the board, I would like to remind them that this money will be automatically transferred back into these funds as of the June 4th meeting, as of the June 4th meeting.
So the departments will get everything back that they lost?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I've had some questions from the police and fire department about that.
Yes, no one will lose any money.
Okay.
Also, just so everybody is aware of this, from the first ordinance of the transfer of appropriation resolution, I did speak with Charlie Pride the next day, being that we are now talking about our state-approved budget, because the following day, Mr. Reedy office actually sent me the line items that we were decreasing. As far as example, when they say they decreased the street department personal services, he listed the line items, which is 101, 034, 114. So as he gave me the list of all these line items to decrease, we then, what he wanted us to do was then create a whole new line item. That way, I guess it makes it easier for all these claims to come out of in Common Council. But since we have not done an ordinance to create this line item, that it has all been done wrong still. So
Teresa and I just wanted on the record that we did go ahead and pay, because there's a lot of businesses that need their money, and we went ahead and paid, but it is done incorrectly, and we did that semi against our will, if you will, just in the hopes to get the money out to the small businesses, well, small or large, it really doesn't matter. They completed services and they need to get paid, so we made that choice to do that.
This won't pay all the bills yet.
This just pays batch 1.
What we're approving tonight is batch 1.
For me to go ahead and cut checks for batch 2.
Right, then the resolution is for her to cut checks for batch 2, which the motion will be made to approve and send that money out at the June 4th meeting, which at the June 4th meeting, that's when we're supposed to be doing the ordinance after you guys meet to redo the MDF and Riverboat budget that Mr. Reedy's office did for you guys that you never saw before the meeting on the 14th, correct? Okay.
we were just letting you know where everything was at with this, that, like Suzanne said, obviously, we went ahead and created this line item because we want everybody to get paid because our office is being bombarded with phone calls. I mean, now we're getting calls from Comcast and, you know, wondering why our bills aren't being paid. So obviously we did this, even though it is incorrect, because this line item was never created. So I guess you guys just need to have a motion to approve the second resolution.
Any discussion? Entertain a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Have a second? Second. All in favor?
Aye.
All against? Ayes have it.
Hey, Mayor,
Yes.
is there any chance in the future, I know I'm just the fire department, be somehow tipped off by this type of situation, you know?
I didn't know anything about it.
Does directly affect my budget.
Nobody knew.
Yeah, I'd like to be tipped off too.
Nobody knew anything.
I think that would, seems like there's nothing but a communication problem in this whole board. I offered the first of the year, open door, come see me. I have people 21 feet away from my office, won't come see me, so. But future, I'd appreciate it from whoever.
Just so you know, Johnny, that tomorrow I will be getting the list of the line items because as of right now, I don't. The resolution of the transfer of the $775,000, I don't know what line items these are decreasing.
Right.
We got that.
I understand. Somebody knew. Somebody knew all this was going on.
Right.
That's the only thing. I asked a little creep.
So, we made the motion to approve the resolution, correct?
Right.
Could you guys all come into the office to sign these resolutions for me? Because I need their signatures in the list. No.
Be there tomorrow.
And I would like to comment that this is just a temporary stopgap so that people can get paid.
That's fine.
We need,
Still like to know
we
that.
need to do that.
Okay. Any more old business? Review and discuss claims for board approval? We did that? Okay. Motion for adjournment.
So move.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Doug, can I get signatures, please? Valerie, this is yours.
Ain't you sleepy there?
I got that sickle out there, that's bad.
Well, if not, I know.